Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
I apologize for not being here the last couple of shows. It is now August. This is prime vacation time for me. You guys know once we get to football season, I'm locked in. Black Friday, I'll be here. Chiefs play on Thanksgiving. Day before Christmas, I'm here. The summer, it's a little different. But I'm excited to be here with you guys. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. My name is Carrington Harrison. I have happily returned, and I have a lot of thoughts today. Rob is here as well. Drew is still here. Don't really know why Drew is still here, but you know what? I'm happy that he is here. Let me tell you some of the things that we are going to talk about. The Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming up today at 5 o'clock. The Royals have already made a move. They have traded Chris Bubic to the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers have everybody on their team. If you can think of a baseball player, they currently play for the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll talk about that. Spider-Man had the biggest first week in the history of movies. We gave you guys some tickets last week. Congratulations to those of you that won. Hopefully you have gone to see Spider-Man. If not, you know what? You still got more time to see the largest first week in the history of movies. I want to ask you guys again, now that we are here at padded practices, are you guys worried at all about Mansour Delane, who still hasn't practiced in St. Joe? We're talking about a rookie here. These reps are really, really important. He continues to deal with this shoulder injury. We'll see when he gets on the field. We'll see where you guys are right now with Mansour Delane. We got a lot to get into in today's show. There also was, now I didn't click on this on purpose, but there was a national anthem that went viral. Now, the last time that this happened, we played the national anthem, and I don't think the national anthem was as bad as you guys told me that it was. I think people were being a little bit unfair on the Twitter streets. We have another one that went viral. I sent it to Rob, and I said, don't let me listen to this. Let me hear it in real time. We'll do this on the air. I don't know exactly what time, but I'll let you know when I feel like listening to the national anthem. We'll get to that at some point. Before we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, because I have a bunch of Chief thoughts that I've been compiling over the last couple of days, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate it. Number three, I need you to remember to go stop by and see our fine friends over at The Other Place. Go in there, get yourself a hash brown in the morning. Go get yourself a tenderloin for lunch. Why don't you go in there and get you a little nightcap, little dinner, however you like to celebrate the end of a tough work day. Go see our friends over at The Other Place. Today is a Burger and Brew Monday, so stop in, get yourself a burger, $8.99. They also got a beer special for less than $5. Go in there, get yourself a burger, get yourself a beer for less than $15. With no Royals baseball tonight, just enjoy a nice, warm summer evening. We don't have too many of these left in the month of August. All right, Rob, I've done a lot of yapping. Let's get to it. I'm really excited to talk about the Chiefs today because we have real things to discuss. This could possibly be a training camp overreaction. So I do want to give it that preface from the very, very beginning and put an asterisk by this commentary that I could be wrong about this, that maybe this is Andy Reid just playing a little bit of games. Maybe this is a little bit of showmanship. Maybe this means nothing. It is absolutely possible. But tracking it the last couple of days, are we 100% certain that Jalen Moore is their starting right tackle? Now, text line 913-586-7965. I have to give you guys a lot of credit. When this conversation came up over the summer, I disregarded it. I didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about this. The text line did bring this up, so I got to give credit where credit is due. You guys saw this, and I didn't see it. I thought the money, I thought the experience in the offense was going to be the difference. If you have been tracking this thing over the last couple of days, it appears to me that Khalil Benson, the undrafted rookie out of Indiana, he was the starting right tackle on that national championship team. It would appear that there is a strong position battle right now, a camp battle between Jalen Moore and Khalil Benson, more so than any other position that they currently have on the field. We're going to have Nate Taylor on the show later today. I'm going to ask him, who does he think is a starting right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs? I have not asked Nate this question. I don't know the answer to this question. Based on how they are moving, I think the answer is Khalil Benson. The last 3 days that they have done 11 on 11 work, the guy who has gotten the first reps is Khalil Benson. Now, maybe they want to get an extended look and they want to see him go up against starters. Again, that's why I'm putting a preface on this, that I could be wrong in my assessment of this. But how are we still here with Jalen Moore? Now, I don't have the text line up right now, but I am going to guess that the text line is going to say the standard stock Chiefs answer. Well, they got Jalen Moore last year, and then Josh Simmons fell to them. So then what could you do with Jalen Moore? That is great to have a swing tackle and how important depth is. And I guess you're right. I don't deny that the original plan likely was to have Jalen Moore play left tackle for you. You then saw an opportunity to improve at the left tackle position. You then took said opportunity. I'm not saying that you're wrong there. But this would be my question about Jalen Moore and why I feel so strongly about this. If he doesn't start week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs, this is going to be 2 consecutive teams that don't view you as a starter. Now, I know we have sold this, well, how could you play left tackle? They had Trent Williams. There's a right tackle position, right? And the San Francisco 49ers never thought Jalen Moore was good enough to play right tackle, never thought he was capable enough to move over. Even when they lost their right tackle and Mike McGlinchey, who went to the Broncos, they still didn't give Jalen Moore the opportunity. So Jalen Moore comes in here. He gets the opportunity at left tackle. I guess you could say that. He never really got the opportunity at left tackle. He couldn't beat out Juwan Taylor on the right side. And now heading into this season, I have at least operated every single day of this offseason that Jalen Moore was going to be the starter at right tackle. Now that we're here, now that they're putting on the pads, now that it matters, he's not even that. That's a poor allocation of funds. We'll go through some of the free agent signings that they've had and some of my issues with what they've done. But you know what the Chiefs need more than anything? The Chiefs need impact starters under the age of 30 years old. A lot of the star players, the guys who you have bought their jersey, they're all a little long in the tooth now. What this team needs to do is restock that pool of very talented young players. And as I look at a team right now that I think admittedly, doesn't matter how big of a Chiefs fan you are, you can admit there are some noticeable deficiencies on this roster. D-end is a deficiency right now. I don't think that can be debated. Wide receiver is a deficiency. Do you want to know one of the reasons why it's a deficiency? Because you are spending an exorbitant amount of money, it would appear, on your 6th offensive lineman. The money that you're paying Jalen Moore is starter defensive line money. What you're paying him, you can get a really solid number 3 wide receiver, but you have all of those resources, all of those allocated towards Jalen Moore, which wouldn't be that bad if he's your starting right tackle. But you got a guy who's making $18 million a year and getting beat out by a guy making $800,000. That's poor cap management. That's poor roster construction. If Jalen Moore is not the starting right tackle, it will be nearly impossible for you to spin this to me that this is a positive. It will be virtually impossible for you to sell this to me as he's a really good insurance option. Insurance option is not good when you're deficient at other areas that you could use immediate help for, but you've got those assets tied up into a break in case of emergency. It would be one thing if your break in case of emergency was Issa Pole. It'd be another thing if it was Khalil Benson. Hey, undrafted guy, you found this guy, diamond in the rough. Now he's going to be your 6th offensive lineman. Something goes wrong, he can easily pop in. That's finding a bargain. That's a deal. It's not a deal when you're spending $18 million a year for that luxury. Not at all. Not when he makes more than the entire wide receiver room. Not when you're so unproven on D end and nobody to get to the other team's quarterback. I'd have loved that money to go get Boye Mafe. I would have loved that money to go make an impact there, but you've already allocated those resources. So we can talk about this. I'll read some of the text. Maybe you guys think I'm overreacting to this, but for 3 straight days, as the Chiefs have been in St. Joe, they have started 11 on 11. They have started team drills with Khalil Benson as their starting right tackle. So you're going into it with an offensive lineman on the left side in Josh Simmons, who only played 8 games, and on the other side, an undrafted rookie from last year, and a quarterback who's recovering from a knee injury. I got some questions about the offensive line. We'll get to them. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And Doug.
Hot dog, get your hot dog.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
not yet. But both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes it feels like the news is full of things that have never happened before, and that is not exactly true. In fact, it may have happened this very week, hundreds or thousands of years ago. I'm Sally Helm, host of the podcast History This Week from the History Channel. Trade embargoes? Thomas Jefferson tried them. Rent too high? We've been arguing about that for a while. Each episode is proof. The past isn't that far away. Listen to History This Week, available now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I want to read these two text messages. And again, maybe I'm overreacting to this Jalen Moore thing. That's just kind of what training camp is. Like someone on the text line says this, C-Dot, I try not to put too much stock into early training camp unless we're looking at this split first-team snaps in a week or two. I'm not saying the team has moved more down on the depth chart. This would be my question to you if that's your position. It's a fine position to have. This would be my question. It would appear to me that Jalen Moore is the only player they're doing that with. Who is another guy that you think is a starter that they are not giving the first team reps to in totality? Everybody else, they're not doing that with Kenneth Walker. It's not like we're having these conversations. Well, hey, Emmett Johnson might be. No, we're not having those conversations. You know who the running back is. You know who the quarterback is. You know who wide receiver 1 and 2. When it comes to the defense, we're not questioning who those guys are on the D-line. We're not questioning those guys on the secondary, even with Mansour Delane being out. Right now, the only position that truly feels up for grabs are right tackle. Maybe you could argue off-ball linebacker. You got Bolton and you got Tranquil, and then you're having the conversation on the other side. Maybe I missed it. I know I was gone for a couple days, Rob. Is there any other position that we're talking about we don't know who the starter is? Because I think out of the 22 positions, we know who 20 of the starters are. Right now, there's 2 positions we don't seem to know who the starter is. It's right tackle and it's off-ball linebacker, and I would say that's probably going to end up being Jeffrey Bassa. Am I off on that, or is there a position that I'm not counting?
Nothing of note. Like, I know that maybe there's some early buzz about Chamari Connor moving to safety and what that means to Jaden Hicks, but it's a position that those guys rotate.
Like a rotation anyway. It's 3 guys, and they'll probably all get very comparable stats. So again, I understand what you're saying. Don't put too much stock into this. If one guy keeps getting on the field first at almost every other position, we are going with that guy is the starter. Why are we not doing that at right tackle? Somebody else on the text line, C-Dot, have you forgot all the problems there were before the offensive line, hence why all the funds are being spent there? Now, that is not a bad thing, but I would say for the amount of resources that they have spent on the offensive line, how good do we think the Chiefs' offensive line is? They spent a first-round pick at left tackle. They are spending $18 million a year on what could be their backup right tackle. They have the highest paid center, the highest paid right guard. They spent a second-round pick. So I don't have any problem with you spending resources on the offensive line. Do you feel like the Chiefs have the best offensive line or one of the best offensive lines? So yes, putting your resources in a certain place is not a bad strategy. I'm looking at the Texans. The Texans put a line into their defensive line. I see the fruits of it every Sunday. They just got stronger. They just got Jadeveon Clowney. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Those were the problems, were the offensive line. Now, I think you could argue offensive line is still a problem, and now other problem spots are starting to pop up on the roster, and they don't have those available assets to go out and address those issues immediately. Someone else says this, and I think this is probably the Chiefs fan stance on this. C-Dot, it's easy to say all this about Jalen Moore now. They didn't anticipate Josh Simmons being available in the draft, and you can't foresee that an undrafted free agent is going to be as good as he's been so far. What you just described to me is a guy that's not good enough to be a starter. There has not been a team in the National Football League that has invested and put him on the field and used him like a starter. We're heading into Jalen Moore's 6th season as an NFL player. We're still doing the shoulda, coulda, woulda, if. He's never started week 1 of an NFL season. So if you want to sell me on last year, Simmons fell in the draft and he couldn't beat out Jawan Taylor because he was established, hey, I'm rolling with it. I mean, not what I would have done, but hey, I understand some circumstances changed. The excuse now is Jalen Moore in year 6, who made 6 starts last year at right tackle, who's started 18 games in his NFL career, who all offseason is practicing and training like he's going to be the starting right tackle for the team. A guy shows up undrafted at a camp and then beats you at the position, then you missed. You missed along the way. I'm sorry you missed. Now, if Benson ends up being good, it's not the worst thing that could potentially have. But in a sport in which you only get so many draft picks, you only get so much cap space, there's only so much wheeling and dealing. The Chiefs have spent a lot of money so far on Jalen Moore for him to be a backup offensive lineman. So when we have these conversations in the fall and you're like, man, why couldn't they go get a wide receiver? Well, he's sitting over there on the bench. He's sitting in there hoping somebody gets hurt so he can come in the game. Why couldn't they go get a defensive lineman? Because they have because Jalen Moore has the 5th highest cap hit on the team. He's not 19, 20. We probably wouldn't be having this conversation if he was that far down. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. You're top 5 in salary cap usage this year. And that's an exorbitant amount to use on a player that we're not sure is going to start week 1 of the NFL season and keeps getting beat out.
I'm not saying Jalen Moore is the reason why the Chiefs will or won't win a Super Bowl. But misses like that in free agency are what handcuff teams. When you spend starter money, I don't want to say they're spending big money, but they're spending starter money on a player to not start, it has an impact on how you can build your roster. So if Jalen Moore is not going to be the starter, and me, you're in the same boat, by the way, I will continue to wait. Because remember, this time last year, Jalen Moore was getting right tackle snaps over Jawan Taylor, and people were all hot and bothered, and it immediately pivoted back. So I'm team wait, but these are the kind of things that handcuff your roster because you made a mistake. They aren't, oh man, they're not going to the Super Bowl because they overpaid for Jalen Moore. But it is a lesson in roster building that you have to hit on free agency more often than you miss. And when you miss with players with bigger price tags, the pain is felt at a higher level.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, your Monday morning quarterback. And I'd rather be happy that we found an undrafted free agent starting at offensive tackle. I'm glass half full. I mean, that's certainly one way to look at it. My biggest issue with this is just the amount of money that he makes. You might disagree with my take on this. It's perfectly fine. I do think there's one thing that I've been very consistent on over the years is we're going to talk about the guys that get paid the most amount of money. Those are the guys that matter. Those are the guys that you win championships with. They made a significant investment in him as a player. He has their 5th highest cap hit heading into the season. That guy has to start. That guy has to beat out Khalil Benson. If he's your starter and Khalil Benson is your 6th guy, and then in year 2, you let Jalen Moore walk and then you promote Benson, and that's one of those feel-good stories, yeah, that's a completely different thing. If an injury happens and Benson steps up and outperforms him, and now you got a real controversy, the Chiefs spent decent amount of money on a player that they don't view as a starter. And that kind of goes to me with the bigger picture about their free agency conversation, about what happened last year in free agency, where if you want to explain how the 2025 season went that way that it is, it wasn't all that this team was just fatigued. It wasn't all the amount of games just wore on the Chiefs, and that's why last season they missed in the NFL draft, at least in terms of impact, able to help you day one guys in the NFL draft, and they had a free agency class that just hasn't really helped them yet. That's how last season ended up the way that it did.
Let me ask you this, because I think it's a good question about the 2025 free agency period. Which miss do you think has hurt the Chiefs worse? Christian Fulton or Jalen Moore? Because neither are on the field, and they were both day one, we got to go sign these type of guys moves. Like, I think you can point to those two moves in free agency and say, oh, why were the Chiefs bad? They're two big name, hey, day one free agent swings in 2025 have been watching the team from the sideline and are doing that again in 2026.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, the Chiefs' number one concern is always going to be to protect the Golden Goose. It's most important. I mean, they couldn't run the football last year and their quarterback got hurt because their offensive line was really bad. So if that's where their number one concern is, they failed. They failed last season. I hear what you're saying. No, that sounds good. I'm with you. Pump as many resources as you can of keeping their quarterback upright. Yes, and that all made sense when he was playing like a superhero and at an MVP level. Last year, he was Bo Nix, and he got hurt, and they couldn't run the football. So if their strategy has been, we're going to pump everything into our offensive line because that's what is best for Patrick Mahomes, they just didn't do a good job of that last season. In fact, they were really bad at it. They failed at every single turn. If their job was to protect Patrick Mahomes, he had to run way more than he was used to. He was getting beat up over the duration of the season. Eventually, his body just gave out at the end of the year from carrying the rest of the roster. They failed if that was the strategy.
In pretty spectacular fashion, if I'm being honest, because if the strategy was protect Pat at all costs, Pat got hit a lot last year.
A bunch.
Pat got hurt last year, and they went 6-11. So, and one of the reasons he got hit a bunch is because their big free agent signing didn't play. Or he can't play, which might be worse.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, you're delusional. He doesn't have to start. Okay, we can move on. I'm with you. I'm just the third highest paid player on the Chiefs offense right now is in a position battle with an undrafted rookie. I feel like I'm the only one that's like, hey, that might be a problem. That doesn't sound good to me. After Mahomes, it's then Trey Smith and Jalen Moore. Two of those guys are Pro Bowl caliber, all pro level players. The other one has been a career backup in the National Football League. Just seems like that matters to me. Maybe it does not matter to any of you guys. All right, let's talk a little bit of Royals. We'll get back to the Chiefs. I want to give you guys my thoughts on Cyrus Allen, who has gotten off to a very, very good start so far at camp, had the injury. We'll talk about that and him playing on special teams here coming up in a bit. I don't believe that the Royals really had much choice with Chris Bubic. He's currently injured. He is on an expiring contract, and his deal is going to be up at the end of the season. I don't know how much leverage the Royals potentially had to get a whole lot back. It doesn't seem like they got a whole lot back, Rob, based on what I'm reading, based on what I've seen people who track this stuff. It doesn't seem like they got a lot back. But I also don't know if the Royals were in a position where they had a whole lot of leverage and bargaining power, given Chris Bubic injury and the fact that we all know that he is not going to re-sign with the Royals at the end of the season. So it kind of is what it is. You were going to lose him potentially at the end of the year anyway. So something had to be done, and it's better to get something as opposed to nothing. So they choose to get something for Chris Bubic. I'm not mad at the deal, but if he's not pitching at an all-star level the way that he was last year and is banged up right now, I mean, he was damaged goods, so to speak, and you were just going to get 30 cents on the dollar for him.
100%. And you had to find a team that was willing to eat not a ton of salary, but eat his salary to have him not play. So I don't think it was like 29 teams were calling the Royals about Chris Bubic. You had to find a team that had some cash on hand that didn't mind waiting. So that basically limits you to the Dodgers, Red Sox, the richest of the rich. And you are not getting a top prospect, a top 5 prospect. You're not getting a top 30 prospect. The Royals now have to prove that they got something for Chris Bubic. This can't be a literal bag of balls, a literal nothing. It has to be, this is a guy that's in the Royals bullpen. Doesn't have to be a star, doesn't have to be Kelvin Herrera, but he has to be on the roster and productive for the team. But it is the definition of rock of a hard place. They couldn't just hold on to him and get nothing, but they really didn't have any trade value with him because of his contract and the fact that he was an expiring deal. So something for the roster as opposed to just collect dust in the outfield.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll obviously see how this plays itself out. I mean, this just might kind of go to show you just how quickly things can turn for you, where Chris Bubic, if you had made this trade 6 months ago, probably get you a lot in return. You get a lot back for Chris Bubic, but this season hasn't gone the way that you wanted it to. He's been banged up so far this season. It feels like it's a little bit of a buyer's market. Like even Scooble, I know we're talking about the Dodgers here. Skubal didn't go for as much as people thought that he was going to go. So if you're a team that is looking to add pieces at the deadline, I think it's been a really good market for you. We've seen some good players get moved here over the last 24 or 48 hours or so. So if you're a smart organization like the Los Angeles Dodgers, you're taking advantage of a team like the Kansas City Royals. Hey, this is what we're willing to offer. Either you can keep him, he's not going to pitch for you, you're paying him anyway, and you can just see him walk out of town at the end of the season, or you can take what we are offering you for it and go from there. It's kind of like what happens at a garage sale. Sometimes you don't really want to part with it, but you also don't want to walk it back inside either. You did all this work to get it outside, and now somebody comes in there and they offer you $5 for it. I know you wanted $15 for it, but what are your options? Your options are take the $5 or carry all this stuff back inside, and you just make the decision to take the $5. I feel like that's kind of what they had to do with Chris Bubic.
I think, though, to the larger point, I think why Royals fans are a little frustrated today, and there's still 2.5 hours till the deadline comes and goes. So, maybe more things can happen is you are seeing teams in similar, if not better positions than the Royals be more aggressive as sellers. Like the Orioles gave up on Adley Rutschman today. That's a
to
much
a team in their division, too, which makes it even more confusing.
That's a much bigger sell job than the Royals have done so far. You've seen, Skubal's a good example, the pennies on the dollar, but the Dodgers, the Tigers gave up on him. There's a belief Casey Mize from the Tigers will get traded later today. I think Royals fans' frustration is not just, hey, we had to trade Chris Bubic, we didn't get as much as we'd like. That kind of stinks. It's you're looking around baseball, and teams that are sub 500 are having fire sales, and the Royals are, pinching pennies to get rid of one-year deal guys. That's where I think fans are frustrated with how the Royals have handled the deadline, at least so far. Waka, Lugo, they can still get traded, but to date, that's why Royals fans are frustrated.
Yeah, someone just sent this in. We all wanted them to be sellers, so we can't be that upset that they didn't find as many buyers as they wanted. You're 100% right. I also would say the Royals don't really have a lot of super valuable things to buy right now. I understand being sellers, but you also have to have something that other people covet and that they want. And they just don't really have that. They don't really have that in their farm system right now. And it's not like you thought they were going to be taking on anybody. But right now, this is a team that's kind of failing across the board. Taking a Chris Bubic, yeah, the guy's going to get you something, but you're not breaking the bank on him. So any of the players that you could probably get something for, obviously Witt's off the conversation, but a guy like Garcia. You could get something for Maikel Garcia if he was truly available, but he's not truly available. So a lot of the guys that they have, a lot of the pieces that they have, they're going to end up getting you exactly what Chris Bubic got you. Chris Bubic got you a decent bullpen arm that could maybe do something, or you might end up getting a failed fourth outfielder that a new change of scenery could be really good for them. A guy like how MJ Melendez was. It didn't work out in his first stop. Can you go get him? Can you teach him something? And can you turn things around? That's just all they kind of have right now to offer up to anybody. They don't really have anything of significant value that they're trading. They don't have an Adley Rutschman that they're throwing out there. They don't have one of those players.
I will say the one thing I think they do have that is valuable, reports are they're saying no to people. Now, maybe Bob Nightingale's got bad information. I don't know. I'm going to trust Bob Nightingale, though. Bob Nightingale had the report over the weekend. The Royals are receiving calls from Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo. To date, they have rebuffed all offers. So I get what you're saying. It's not like their roster is talent rich. It's not like they have Skubal and Casey Mize on their roster and they're saying no thanks. But the two things that could net larger returns, they are reportedly saying no thanks. Now, is that no thanks because they're getting pennies on the dollar offers? I can't answer that question. I don't know. But I think that's where the frustration comes is, you're right, it's a roster lacking in high-end talent to move, and supposedly the talent that you're looking to move that is being looked at to move, you're saying no to. That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to have Vern on the show later today. We'll get his thoughts on this move as well. I want to learn a little bit more about this process from Josh Verner. He'll be on the show in the 5 o'clock hour, so we got a while until we talk to Vern. There's a couple of Jalen Moore questions that I want to answer really quickly, and then I do want to play this national anthem. C-Dot, what happens if he gets beat out? Can he not get cut and save money? So basically how the contract would work for Jalen Moore is they've already guaranteed him $7 million this season. So his contract guaranteed him $21.2 million. So his signing bonus was fully guaranteed. That was $7.4 million. His salary for last year was fully guaranteed as well. So that was around $11 million. And then you throw $7 million so far of his salary. So they've already paid him $7 million. Now, if they cut Jalen Moore, they would save $8 million. His cap hit is 18. His dead cap is $10 million. Do the math. You would save $8 million if you released him. I think the question would be, A, is there a team that a potential injury that could happen? Let's say Khalil Benson wins the job here. Like, let's spin it positive. Let's say Khalil Benson wins the job and you are thrilled. You've got your left tackle for the future. You potentially have your right tackle for the future, and you can now move on from Jalen Moore. What you probably need is an injury. You need a Rashawn Slater. You need one of those kind of injuries to happen. Just because if I know that guy's not going to start for you, and now you want to offer him up in a trade and you want me to take on that contract in August, we're not talking about this is April and May. We're talking about you're at your last little bit of cap space trying to get over the hump, and you want to keep a little bit of wiggle room heading into the season because you never know what could happen. You might want to be viable at the trade deadline. Maybe you want to pick somebody up off waivers. Maybe Tyreek Hill gets healthy. You don't know. So you want to keep a little bit of wiggle room for how you're going to handle this thing. I don't know if there's a lot of teams that's taken on $14 million in which Jalen Moore's cap hit would be if he got traded. I don't know if you're taking that on in August unless it is an extreme set of circumstances. But then I would ask, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, like, it's kind of one of those things like you've already paid for it. So even if he's not your starter, and I think, at least for me, the value's not there, it is better to just have that guy on your team play out the string than take a 7th-round pick for him or a 6th-round pick, because I don't think he's worth much more than that with the contract attached to him. An injury happens, and then you're just kind of out there. Like, this is kind of one of those things you kind of got to ride out the rest of this deal. So I personally would be surprised if they cut him. I don't know if it makes a lot of financial sense to cut him. I just think it's one of those deals that you're upside down on, and you just got to wait another year till you get out from under it.
There's really nothing else to say. I agree 100%. I don't know that right now in camp there is a situation across the NFL where a team is so dire for tackle that they are calling the Chiefs being like, hey, we need Jalen Moore. Like, we need him today, now, instant. Get him on the plane. I also don't think the Chiefs will cut him, even beyond the financial point. Let's say he does lose the job and it's all the way to September, was it 14th when they play the Broncos, and he's the backup. At that point, you've already paid the money. Let him sit there and watch the game from the front row. And if Josh Simmons goes MIA again, you have him on the team. If, Josh Simmons gets hurt again, you have him on the team. If Khalil Benson ends up to be, hey, looks great in camp but doesn't actually play well in the regular season, you have him on the team. I think Jalen Moore is making the team out of camp, but I don't know that there's a scenario where he's cut or traded because I can't envision either of those.
Yeah, my, issue, and that issue is a very light term. My issue more with Jalen Moore isn't whether or not he should be off the roster or not. It is more of as we are in the second year of this is not a conversation that we should be having. That job should be his. At least I've projected him to be their starter this entire time. So the fact that we are here and it doesn't feel like he has a stronghold on that position is more of an indictment on the player and more of an indictment on their evaluation of said player. That was their big free agent swing last year. That was their number one swing. They didn't go spend money on wide receiver. They didn't go spend money on defensive line last year. Their big move of free agency, day one, was to go get Jalen Moore. And Jalen Moore has been reduced to backup break in case of emergency tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's just not a good use of your resources to me. All right, coming up on the other side, we will listen to this national anthem. Rob, did you even know that there is now a professional baseball league for women? And they just had their first game this weekend. So they had a group of ladies sing the national anthem, and supposedly it went viral. I have not heard this. I imagine a lot of you have not heard this, but I heard it's something we should listen to. We'll do it together next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
FanDuel is giving new customers up to $1,000 in bet resets. Bet $5 daily and unlock your $200 in bet resets every day. That's right. New customers can place a $5 bet each day and receive up to $200 in bet resets up to $1,000 total. So whether you're betting player props, money line, same game parlay, whatever, FanDuel has you covered. Place your daily $5 bet and unlock up to $1,000 in bet resets. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, your home for the home runs. FanDuel is the official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 deposit required. Minimum $5 wager required for 5 consecutive days. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bet reset tokens. Refund from bet token issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $200 per day. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used a trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
This afternoon, expect sunny conditions with a high of 89.
Weather brought to you by Staples. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Follow this station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
All right. We're going to do this together. So I saw on my social media timeline, I saw a clip. And this clip said, you have to hear this national anthem. Now, the last time that this happened, it was the great Patti LaBelle. She sang the national anthem at the Major League Baseball All-Star game. Twitter was in an uproar about it. I heard it. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. Now, we are talking about an 80-year-old woman. I mean, she didn't sound like Patty from back in the day. She didn't sound like she was doing the duet with Michael McDonald like she used to back in the day. But she still sounded good. She's from Philadelphia. She's a icon. I got no issues with Patti LaBelle's national anthem. Now, I did not know this, but there is a women's professional baseball league, and they just had their first game. So good luck to those women. Well, it's a baseball game. They got to have a national anthem. They got to, have somebody sing. So this is the national anthem. I swear to you guys, I have not heard this. Rob has heard it because he had to roll in the audio. So we are going to hear this all together. The internet said we have to hear it. Let's give it a listen.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay. I got to be respectful because that's somebody, mama. That's somebody, grandma. What did we just listen to? What was that? Do they not have a screening process? Sometimes you got to tell auntie, hey, you got to sit down, Hey, auntie, I know you want to get up, and I know I get it. Sometimes you got to take the car keys away from grandma. You got to tell Gram that the apple pies she making today, they're not, you know what? Why don't you let us handle it? We'll get some from Walmart today. You know what? Why don't you just go sit down. Go watch your soaps. Watch your shows. You thirsty? I'll bring you some milk. Gram knows she can't be up there singing like that. Come on now. She's got to be a parent of somebody on the team. That's the only way that makes sense to me. The only way that tracks to me is that's the starting pitcher and she wanted her mom to sing the national anthem. It's like a group of the team mothers, so you're showing them that respect, that reverence. That's the only way. Come on now. Rob, that's not what I was expecting. I didn't see the video. I didn't see the clip. I instantly sent it to Rob and said, we got to listen to this. Come on, Grandma. You can't be driving anymore. You're a danger to everybody out here. Grandma, I'll take you. You got to go to your doctor's appointment tomorrow? I'll take you. What time? You know what? That's during the show. But you know what? I'll make sure you get there. I can't let you get behind the wheel of that car anymore, Grandma. It's not safe. I can't let you pick up that microphone anymore. It's not safe. It's not. That was something. That really was something.
It was memorable. I'll say this, as I rolled the audio in, it's a video. They show crowd shots for the national anthem. There were people like stifling laughter in the crowd as that's happening, because if that happened at a game I was at, it would be a hard time for me not to laugh. I would struggle not to laugh. I know people who have sung the national anthem at Royals games, and it's probably very nerve-wracking to stand on the field and sing the national anthem. I have no doubt. But that was bad.
C-Dot, that sounds like some of the old ladies that sing up during church and sing solos. You can't tell them no, but it ain't good. That's enough to be an atheist. If that's the kind of singing y'all got going on in church, you got to find a completely new religion. You got to start over just from scratch. You might have to start your own. Not pick one that's already established. No. I want to be the first. I hope that's not the singing that's going on at church. I'm telling you, sometimes you just got to tell Grandma that she has to sit down. Grandma, I will turn on Murder, She Wrote for you. I promise you we'll watch Matlock together. You want to watch your stories? Come on now. You can't be letting Graham sing. Not like that. That was, Rob, I didn't know what to expect. I was not expecting what I just heard.
It's worth noting, the text line points it out, and I Googled it, I looked her name up. Supposedly that woman, her name's Martha Reeves, is a famous singer. So I'm even more confused how that happened.
She's 85 now. She's 85. Yeah, she had some hits back in the day on Motown. She's 85. Just come to the game. Just come to the game, Martha. Nothing wrong with just coming to the game, waving to the crowd. You know how during games where they acknowledge somebody's here? You know, they do this for you win the Buck O'Neil legacy seat. They do the salute to the honors. You know, they'll show Patrick Mahomes at the game and everybody will stand up. If you want to salute Miss Martha Reeves while she's in attendance, hey, this is in her hometown. She wants to wave to the crowd. Yeah, but come on, Martha. You sang with Diana Ross. You sang with the Supremes. You worked in Motown. You got to know this ain't good. She 85 years old. She shouldn't even be up there singing.
She had a single hit number 2 on the charts in 1964.
She's got an album coming out. Oh. That woman we just heard, she's got an album. I'm looking at it. She's doing a meet and greet in Dearborn, Michigan this upcoming Saturday from 2 to 4:30. You can meet Miss Martha Reeves. She's going to have advanced copies of her new album, Searching. Yo, you trying to get studio time in your 80s, Martha, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. Come on now. I hate to do this, but you got to let it go. You was in the studio. I mean, hey.
Some of the text line points it out perfectly. She was once a big deal for Motown. Now her legacy is that clip forever.
No, we're not going to do it like that. We're not going to do Miss Martha Reeves that way. I can't let her do it. I can't let her go out like that.
It's not like her new album's going to make it better.
I can't do that. I can't do it to Miss Martha Reeves. Shout out to her, though. You want to hear some of her new music, man? I'm sure she got a single. Did you think she got a single out?
I mean, having one out and having one listenable are two different things.
I don't know. I was wondering, man. I was just wondering. So that was definitely something. Shout out to Miss Martha Reeves. She sang the national anthem at the baseball game. She has a new album coming out. If you want to get it, I'm sure it's going to be available on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, wherever you get music from. It's called Searching. She's out promoting that new album, doing meet and greets, you know, shaking hands, kissing babies. You're doing the stuff you got to do for promotion. That's definitely important. Rob, I know we don't have a whole lot of time to talk about this, and I'm sure it'll come up again. Spider-Man, big number this weekend. Are you surprised this number is this big? We knew it was going to be the biggest release of it. It's Spider-Man. It's Tom Holland. It's Zendaya. They're two big movie stars. It's the 4th installment. It's been growing. We all knew it was going to be a big, big release. I don't know if anybody was anticipating that it was going to break the Avengers record. That's a math. They did 335 this weekend, and I'm going to guess it's going to do a strong second week, too, just because the buzz has been so high, and I think people really like this movie.
I am not surprised they did well in theaters. I mean, Marvel got its home run swing back. Good for them. It beating Avengers is like mind-boggling to me.
Do we think they got their home run swing back? Table this conversation.
Okay, we can get that.
Because I think that Spider-Man is in a completely different category than all the other ones. Like, we were having a debate about this because everybody in my group chat is a Marvel person except me. And I was arguing that I don't think Marvel can make Guardians of the Galaxy again. There was a time there where Marvel could just, a superhero you never heard of before, and you would go to the movie theaters to see that character. I don't know if Marvel can do that anymore. But can Marvel keep making Spider-Man movies and you go see it? Yeah. I think Spider-Man is now the most popular superhero. I think he is the new Batman.
Especially Tom Holland's version.
For sure. But Tom Holland's version. I guess you're a bigger Marvel person than me. I don't know if Marvel has the ability to make Guardians of the Galaxy again. I don't know if they have the ability to take Ant-Man, a character that we had no nostalgia with, and turn him into an international movie star. I don't know if they can do that in 2026. I think the casual is burnt out on those movies. But can you get America to go watch Avengers? Can you get them to watch Spider-Man? Can you get them to watch the X-Men whenever that formally gets announced? I think you can get the casual engaged on those movies still.
We can tailor this conversation because I think they still can do that. The problem is they started thinking they can't miss with those, and they have some misses. But like Thunderbolts came out last year, and it was really popular and did really well, and no one knows anything about the Thunderbolts.
Coming up at the top of the hour. All right, let's get back to the Chiefs, and let's talk about Cyrus Allen, who has had a very good start to camp, and he left with an injury over the weekend. Thankfully, it is not that severe, and he is expected to rejoin the team later this week. We'll talk about Cyrus Allen next and the special teams injury. That's all coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison here. Let me tell you that erectile dysfunction affects more than your sex life. It can impact your confidence, your relationship, your quality of life. But you don't have to live this way. What they'll do at Heartland Men's Health is they have licensed medical providers who can create a specialized treatment plan designed for your unique needs. Because when it comes to this, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Using advanced medical therapies that go far beyond pills, Heartland Men's Health helps men achieve success rates at well over 90%. Many patients are even able to resume intimacy as soon as the day after their appointment. Your initial visit is $99. It includes a medical consultation, testosterone, and PSA testing. And if medically appropriate, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work during your visit, then the appointment is on the house. So visit any of the 3 area Kansas City locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health at 844-447-6600 or visit the website, heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Don't wait until the next storm reveals a roofing problem. If your roof is over 15 years old, schedule a free inspection with Century Roofing's award-winning team. With over 36 years of experience and 36,000 roofs installed, we've been voted Best Roofing Company in Johnson County 5 years running and Best in Kansas City 2 years in a row. Visit CenturyRoofingKC.com today. KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go. Your home field advantage for airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go. The best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right. You guys don't know how happy I am to be talking about actual Chiefs things. Now, I like having random Chiefs hypotheticals. I think I'm one of the best at a random Chiefs hypothetical. But it's different when you got real things to react to, when you're on different sides of the argument. This is what I wake up every day for. This is the game I love. I'm happy that we're back. This weekend, I was having a good weekend, you know? I see my Twitter timeline in uproar. I decided to go on there and see what they were in uproar about. Cyrus Allen, who has had a really good start to camp. I don't want you guys to think that I don't think he has had a great start to camp. Everything you are seeing, I'm seeing as well. He has gotten off to a fantastic start at camp. He got into a training camp injury on special teams. Internet appalled. Dave Tobe, you idiot. How can you do this? Can I try to be the voice of reason on this? And I don't want you guys to yell at me and bite my head off. We might disagree about Jalen Moore, but I think we can agree on this Cyrus Allen thing. I really do. Now, number one, I know you're excited. I'm excited. One of my really good friends, he's a football coach. He got invited up to training camp a couple days ago. He called me after practice and was like, hey, I want to tell you this. I'm like, yeah, sure. What'd you see? His 3 observations he had was that Justin Fields stinks, their D-line is in trouble, and Cyrus Allen is the real deal. That's what he told me. I was like, okay, all right. We had a little conversation about it, talking about some other stuff, but those are the 3 things he told me. I think it is important to note with Cyrus Allen that I know you are excited about Cyrus Allen, but I would like to point out he has not practiced in pads for the Kansas City Chiefs. And where I would caution you just a little bit, and I think you would agree that I'm right here, these drills in training camp are designed for the offense to have success more so than the defense. Part of the resistance of playing offense is the threat of violence. Training camp removes all of that threat. There is no fear. Run around and do whatever. Go over the middle of the field with one hand and make a great catch. There's no one trying to hit you in training camp. So I understand being excited. I do. And I'm not here to pour water on your Cyrus Allen fire. I just would like to point out that usually when we talk about training camp heroes, they normally are pass catchers. They're normally the Dexter McClusters. They're remember that guy from the guy from Canada, Westland Dressler. They're normally receivers because these drills are slanted and designed for certain positions to have far more success than other positions. So that is some of the contributing factor to this. Another contributing factor with Cyrus Allen is you guys are so lukewarm on all of their other wide receivers. So the new guy that comes in here and makes a couple of splash plays, yes, you get all excited about him. That's the part of training camp. Now, I hope this is another part that we all can agree on with Cyrus Allen. I understand the start that he has gotten off to. And yes, during the preseason games, I'm going to be here telling you he's person number 1 to watch, that you need to write plays for him, dial up plays, scheme, get him the football, give him as many live reps as possible because that can help you this season. So that side, we are all on the same side. But Where we maybe aren't on the same side is this. He has to play special teams for now. I don't think people were factoring in this part of the conversation. On game day, there's 46 active players. I would guess maybe 60%, 65%, it's off the top of my head, of those guys are ineligible to play special teams. For example, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be active week 1. That's what we believe, right? He's not playing on special teams. Justin Fields will be active. He can't play special teams. Kenneth Walker's not playing special teams. So you get the point that I'm making. Out of the 46 guys, there's a group of about 25 of them that you don't want playing special teams and can't play special teams. So somebody has to do it. And in the meantime, the person that has to be on special teams is the guy toward the bottom of the roster. And if you're wide receiver number 4, you are toward the bottom of the roster. Now, that's not to say he can't move up the depth chart, but let's let the season play out. Let's let training camp play out. Let's get some live bullets, some live rounds. And as you move up the depth chart and get more experience and get more opportunities, there's some shifts that you don't have to do anymore because you've established yourself at the job. So being the gunner or being the punt returner, that's not your responsibility anymore. That now goes to somebody else who's toward the bottom of the roster. But while you're at practice and you're preparing your team for the season and every single scenario, wide receiver number 4 has to know special teams. He's got to know what it's like to be a gunner. He should take some kick return. He should do some punt return. He should know what it's like to be on punt coverage and kickoff coverage because that's where you have to be when you're at the bottom of the depth chart. So I hope, text line 913-586-7965, I didn't mean to say anything that offended you. I don't want you guys to think that I'm being Buzz Killington about Cyrus Allen. There's no reason to be Buzz Killington. He has been the star so far of training camp. He has been one of the bright spots on the offense. So we are all on the same page there. I just want you guys to acknowledge that these drills in training camp are designed for the offense to flourish and not the defense because of the rules. So let's give it a little bit more time. Let's see him in pads. Let's see him with some live bullets. Let's see how he factors in through the course of the season. And until proven otherwise, when you're the 178th pick in the NFL draft, 2 good days of training camp do not get you moved off of special teams duty. No, you got to pay your dues on special teams, make some splash plays, make some plays in the wide receiver room, and you'll move up the depth chart and you'll be out of doing special teams duty. That's how this works.
When the injury happened, I believe it was Saturday or Sunday. I know it was over the weekend. I apologize for not remembering what day. But as that happened, I was like, oh, man, that stinks. He's having a good camp. And then the discourse about why he shouldn't have been participating in special teams drills made me frustrated to the point where I went outside and did lawn work in the new house. I just put the phone away. It was some of the most nonsensical conversation I've seen. Cyrus Allen is supposed to be doing special teams. And what happened to him, which is, by the way, not considered serious. It's a shin bruise. Like, he got away relatively scot-free.
It felt bad initially, though.
True.
The initial seeing his reaction to it, and the fact that he got carted off, when all 3 of those things happen, that's usually not that guy will be back on Thursday kind of injury. So originally, I thought Cyrus Allen was going to be out for the season. I'm just telling you, not a doctor, seeing the play, hearing it, seeing the reaction to it, and the people that were there at training camp, you had a lot of reason to believe that this was a very, very serious injury based on all of those things. So I do think it forced your mind to go to worst case scenario. So thrilled that this is not worst case scenario. Thrilled that he's going to be back later this week. Very, very excited about it. But when he gets back, you know where Cyrus Allen is going back? He's going back on special teams.
Gunner duty.
He's going back on special teams. You don't have a choice. Somebody has to do special teams. Somebody has to. I know it's a different analogy, but you know how late in the season when we're like, oh, well, you got to give all these guys a rest. All of these guys can't take this game off. Somebody has to play. You only have so many guys. So if there's only 20-something guys who can help you on Sunday in special teams, the 4th round, mid-round draft pick, that guy has to play special teams until you give the team a reason. Like Puka Nacua started off on special teams. He then worked his way up and got out of doing special teams. But you don't get to be the wide receiver out of Utah State and think that you're skipping out on being the gunner or think that you're skipping out on playing on special teams. You absolutely are playing special teams.
I was listening to Dana Hughes this morning, and he was stunned this was the discourse. Like, if Cyrus Allen was a first-round pick, I would maybe listen to it. But people on social media are acting like 2 days of good camp from Cyrus Allen, 3 days from good camp of Cyrus Allen means he had developed some sort of air of protection. He was Justin Jefferson and shouldn't be out there running special teams units. Cyrus Allen is Marcus Kemp right now. He might become Tyreek Hill because that's another fifth-round guy, but right now your job is gunner, punt return, kickoff return, and wide receiver. Do as much as you can. Become tougher to let go. But the fact that, hey, he looked good for 2 days, the Chiefs did a mistake having him out there is nonsense to me. It'd be a waste of a rep to have the 90th guy on the roster doing special teams. He's not making it.
Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to talk a little bit of Chiefs. We are in the middle of training camp. The pads came on today. Keep it right here, so drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Listen up, guys. Do you think you know who's going yard today? Well, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to prove your baseball expertise with Daily Dingers. Here's how it works. Make your pick on who's going to hit a home run, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a shot at extra winnings. Now, when your favorite star goes deep and knocks it out of the park, it'll feel that much sweeter. Daily Dingers is free to play, and you can lock in a pick every day of the baseball season, and that's why FanDuel is your home for home runs. Get ready to play your game. Make your first pick at FanDuel.com/local. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's going yard today. FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issue with non-withdrawable profit boost. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right. You pay what we pay on any in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory. Our certified techs will even mount and balance them for only $30 per tire. All that plus a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. Gas and grocery prices may be going up, but there's never been a better time to buy tires. Reserve yours now at TELLEtire.com before our sale ends. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
A cancer diagnosis is overwhelming. Choosing the right treatment shouldn't be. If you've been diagnosed with breast, head and neck, or prostate cancer, before you decide, you have options. At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care. Proton therapy offers increased precision, protecting healthy tissue as compared to standard radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicky Schmidt, and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Chiefs coverage is brought to you by New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paola.
Spring hail means big savings at New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paola. Save up to $15,000 on hail damage new and used vehicles, plus all factory incentives. But this hail of a sale won't last long. New Century Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paola. You always pay less in Paola.
Tune in for the Fan Club Fridays at 1 o'clock with Cody and Gold, presented by Circus Sports. Want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes? Enter one of Circus Sports' premier football contests. Visit circusports.com for details. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a grass fire that's slowing folks down as they take a look. 435 westbound down at Antioch. Right lane is blocked. And then we've got the crash that is 35 southbound at 69 north. That's a two-car crash. Right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Someone just texted in, Carrington, what you're describing, it sounds like the same hype that was around Sky Moore. I'm not doing that to Cyrus Allen. I'm not doing that. I don't think we need to be doing that. Maybe this is just part of being a fan, and I just need to see it through you guys' lens a little bit more. But you know we love a good relationship analogy. What you guys do at training camp is you meet with the girl on Hinge. You guys text for a couple of days. You go on one date, and then you run and tell your man, I think she's the one. And you're like, wait, what? Hey, I know it's going well, but let's see it through a little bit. You know, you've been knowing her for 9 days. Right now, it's supposed to be the fun stage. Right now, yes, the young rookie at training camp, yeah, he's making plays, good. Hey, let's keep it up. They got a preseason game coming up in a couple of weeks. Let's see what he does in preseason. Does he make a play? Does he stand out? Is he on the field? That's all I'm saying. I don't think there's any reasons to be pessimistic about him or compare him to anybody else. And for a guy who's in the 5th round, the fact that he's making an impression and standing out is great. There has not been a player on the Chiefs in training camp that has made a bigger impression so far than Cyrus Allen. So absolutely be excited. It's especially at a position in which they don't have a great track record of developing. They are not a great wide receiver developing organization, at least not this current iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs. They haven't done it a whole lot. So if you think you got something and you got them in the 5th round, yeah, be excited about them. I'm just saying let's temper the expectations. 2 days in, we're treating him like he's wide receiver 2 and he can stand over there with Travis Kelce during training camp drills. No, you need to go over there. You need to be doing special teams. You need to be doing that and move up. That's my only point about him. That catch that he made, I think that was the play so far of training camp. Over the middle of the field, one-handed grab, great play. He's showing a lot of juice. I mean, if it wasn't for this injury, he was making the most out of the opportunity. Xavier Worthy's a little bit banged up right now. They're bringing Rashee Rice back slowly. Cyrus Allen was the guy that was taking all of those opportunities. Did you see that tweet today that was circulating about what their first team wide receiver room was? Did you see that tweet that was going around?
I have seen the tweet.
So this was their 3 wide receivers that they had out there today. Let me pull it up here from Jesse Newell. Shout out to Jesse Newell.
I believe it's of note that there's still some injuries being dealt with.
No, for sure, of course. But the only reason I'm reading this is, to me, this seems like this is why you want them to go get a wide receiver. This is why you want them to go make a move. Because it was Jalen Royals, it was Tyquan Thornton, and it was Andrew Armstrong getting some reps for them in the wide receiver room. So I'm with you. Yes, we know. They got some injuries right now. Xavier Worthy's banged up with the shoulder. He probably could play if it was a regular season game. Rashee Rice is a little bit banged up right now. We just talked about the injury to Allen. So I understand how they got to where they are. But when you see that their wide receiver room was Tyquan Thornton, Jalen Royals, and Andrew Armstrong, it really did highlight the fact of, hey, maybe you should go look at picking up Diggs while he's still available. You can get him for cheap.
I mean, pick a receiver. I guess Deebo Samuel's now off the board, but pick a wideout. Because they are, and like you said, 2 of their wide receivers, 3 if you include Allen, are dealing with injury right now. And it's also August 3rd, so they got a long way to go. But they are 1 out 2 to 4 weeks with a hamstring injury away from the wide receiver room, looking very scary, very fast. And by the way, speaking of Camp Darlings, Andrew Armstrong did make the most of his reps today, but that can't be counted on in September.
Sure. Someone on the text line says, dude, come on, Chad O'Shea just got here. The wide receivers will develop just fine. I certainly hope so. I think one weekend it is very safe to say that wide receiver is their team's biggest weakness. One weekend. So there's a lot of work to do. Someone else asked the question, how can Xavier Worthy already be hurt? I don't want to say I told you so about Xavier Worthy because I don't think that's appropriate now, and I don't even know if I'm 100% right. But Xavier Worthy is 5'11" and 165 pounds. He is really small, playing a game in which the other guys are really big. Sometimes he is going to get injured. He is going to get hit. We are almost a year removed from that shoulder injury, and he is still dealing with the effects of it. This is the same shoulder from the Travis Kelce incident last year, and Xavier Worthy is still dealing with the shoulder injury. So, in my opinion, this is just going to happen with Xavier Worthy. There's some smaller guys that, for whatever reason, they can just avoid big hits. They just stay healthy, and it isn't much of an issue. But for a large majority of these 5'11", 160-pound wide receivers in the National Football League, and you're running and jumping and cutting and diving onto the ground, and you're getting hit and tackled, it's hard to keep those guys healthy over a prolonged period of time. So I've just always thought this is something that they're going to deal with Xavier Worthy. I don't know if you can really avoid having those kind of injury concerns if you're going to be the size that he is playing football.
Listen, we agree about his size, and we agree about a lot on Xavier Worthy. I will say this to defend the man a little bit here. I like to believe the Chiefs are on August 3rd choosing to side on the cautious side when it comes to these sorts of things. If this was, I won't even use the playoffs. It's an extreme example. If this was week 2 against the Colts, I think he's practicing and playing. If this was, week whatever.
I agree, but the only reason, I'm sorry to cut you off, the only reason I disagree is he was doing all of that last year and also getting the protection of he's hurt. Because from when Xavier Worthy got back, he did not miss a practice. He did not miss a game. Yet everybody tells me that I got to throw year 2 in because he was hurt this entire time. First 5 days of camp, he dives for a catch, comes down on that shoulder, and is now out for the next couple of days of practice. So it obviously was some validity to the injury. And I'm with you. He would get up, he would practice, he would play, he would do all those things. I'm not necessarily worried about Xavier Worthy being on the field. It's much more so his effectiveness, especially given how thin this wide receiver room is and how much they really need him and Rashee Rice. Their offense is very, very reliant on two receivers who have struggled with injuries over the course of the last year. That's not even an opinion. That's a fact. Their offense really needs Rashee Rice to stay healthy and also stay out of trouble. Their offense really needs Xavier Worthy. He doesn't have to be the guy that you initially drafted, but he's got to be a guy that can be on the field and give you 700-800 yards. He's got to be that speedster, game-changing kind of player. Their offense and their wide receiver room, they really, really need it. And I think to kind of bring this full circle with what we were talking about at the very beginning of the segment is they feel like a room that one injury, and if a guy is out for 3 or 4 weeks, really puts you behind the 8 ball, and you're really counting on Cyrus Allen, you're really counting on Jalen Royals and those guys to kind of step up, where if there is a position right now in the National Football League that if you needed immediate day one help, you could go get, and you could get yourself an impact kind of guy, wide receiver is probably that one position still in the league because a lot of those pass rushers are now coming off the board. Clowney's off the board now. Cam Jordan's off the board. There aren't too many guys that you think can help you from the D-line perspective, but you probably can still find somebody at wide receiver.
I wonder if the Chiefs are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to wide receiver with signing someone. Because I've been adamant, sign someone. I have said that room's not good enough. But I'm wondering if the Chiefs look at that room and think to themselves, what this room needs is on-field development to learn what we have. Going into year 3 of Xavier Worthy, do you know what he is? I mean, I'm sure the Chiefs have high expectations for him, but they don't know what he is. Rashee Rice, I kind of know what he is, but he's also in the final year of his deal. Like, he might not be here next year. Tyquan Thornton, I know he was exciting last season. Do you know what he is? Do the Chiefs know what he is? So, I wonder if Brett Veach and co. are aware of, hey, an injury could kill us in this room, and we're looking thin at times in this room. But does bringing Stephon Diggs in then handcuff the development of Xavier Worthy so that he never reaches what they believe his potential is? I imagine there is some yin and yang to they need reps to get better, and find out what they are. And does blocking them with a Stephon Diggs type handcuff them in the future? I imagine that yin and yang is being discussed in St. Joe right now.
Text line 913-586-7965. Why do injuries occur every year during OTAs for the Chiefs? Because they're playing football. Like, we're talking about running and jumping, and you're not tackling each other, but you're colliding into each other. Like, there's a measure of physicality. It's hard to keep everybody healthy in these conversations. Like, sometimes I think when we talk about football, sometimes I think we look at it like the injuries are turned off in training camp and they don't turn on until week 1. No, they're on. They're on now. You can get hurt. We watched plenty of football games where guys are just running. It's a non-contact injury and they just go down. Every injury is not some massive hit that just happens and that's what puts you out. No, you're running, you're twisting, you're doing all of those things. So yeah, this is actually kind of common stuff around the league. You just follow one team more closely than other teams.
I was going to say, for that example, Jordan Schultz literally just tweeted out, it doesn't really matter, maybe fancy hunters, KC Concepcion, the rookie from A&M on the Browns.
Yeah.
I'll read the tweet. He left practice today after a hard fall. That's football.
For sure.
They said the injury's not considered serious. He'll be fine. So it's not that it just happens to the Chiefs. It's not that there's a diving play by Worthy and it's just they got bad injury luck. This happens. It's football.
Yeah,
people
for sure.
get hurt.
100%. I want to go through this a little bit. We're kind of bouncing around today, but the Royals, they made a trade. Chris Bubic now plays for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Rob, can I read to you something? I want to read to you the starting pitchers who got the highest number of starts last year for the Royals, and just to show you how quickly things can turn for you. Because I think if you want to explain what happened to the Royals, how did we get here, for example, I think the answer is just, it's kind of simple. I think they had a group of guys who potentially maybe outperformed or overperformed for a little bit. And now that we sit here and a little regression to the mean is happening and you see where we are. Last year, Michael Wacha had the most starts for the Royals. He had 31 starts last year. Do you feel better or worse about Michael Wacha this season than you did last year?
Can I say same? I don't think he got worse, but I don't think he got better. That's what happens to 35-year-olds. But came out in the wash. 1 for 1.
Seth Lugo.
Worse.
Michael Lorenzen.
He's not on the roster anymore, so gone, yeah.
Noah Cameron.
Probably worse.
Worse. Chris Bubic.
Definitely worse.
Just got traded. Cole Reagans. Just got traded. Those were all the starters that made double-digit starts last year for the Royals. So just think about it. This was a team that if we had had this conversation at this time a year ago, we would have said that starting pitching was one of their strengths. It was one of their assets. They had an abundance of arms. They had an abundance of talent. Fast forward a year later, Michael Wacha's largely stayed the same. Seth Lugo, not the same pitcher he was. Michael Lorenzen, not on the team anymore. Noah Cameron, you can't feel the same way about Noah Cameron today that you did last year at this time. We were talking about him being a dark horse contender for American League Rookie of the Year. Chris Bubic just got traded, and Cole Reagans is having Tommy John surgery again potentially, and he's out for the rest of the season. So if you just want to talk about what happened to the Royals as you fast forward a year later, that's what happened. Their starting pitching has regressed tremendously. Their bullpen can't hold water, and some of the core foundational guys in your lineup are not the same anymore. Vinny's not the same anymore as he was last year. He's not putting up those same kind of numbers. I mean, a lot of the things that you were counting on either to continue to progress or stay where they were at last year, they have regressed in a major way this year. That's how you're one of the worst teams in the American League.
We could do this same exercise for the hitters, and it would probably be the same. If you pulled up game logs, who led the Royals in games last year, you probably feel worse about Bobby Witt because he's been hurt. You feel worse about Maikel Garcia. You feel worse about Vinny Pasquantino. You feel worse about Salvador Perez. Like, one of the reasons the Royals are where the Royals are, which is 21 games under 500, hurtling toward 100 losses, is they suffered regression everywhere. Literally everywhere. And I'm not giving the Royals a pass where it's like, oh, that's just bad luck. Usually some people progress. That is a sign that something needs to change. You cannot go into 2027, if there is a 2027, status quo. Now, maybe it's not happening today. Maybe they're not going to shake it up today. Maybe they're not going to give a jolt to the clubhouse today. But before they have opening day on whatever day opening day ends up being in 2027, if it exists at all, it has to be a little bit of a new look. It can't be, hey, we're kind of running it back, but everyone was bad last year. You're not going to believe they're going to be all bad again. We don't think they're all going to regress every season. They need to make change because a year ago you felt good about the roster and it was in a healthy position and they were going to be above 500 and battle for a playoff spot to the end, and then a few moves and watch out in 2026. That has not been the case, not even a little bit, over at One Kauffman Way.
Yeah, I want to clear up. I don't think I said that Cole Reagans got traded. I apologize if I said that. Chris Bubic got traded earlier today. Reagans is on the IL with an arm injury. So if I said that, I certainly apologize. Not at all what I meant. Bubic earlier got traded today to the Dodgers and Reagan. So those were the 6 starters for the Royals last year that made double-digit starts. It was Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, Michael Lorenzen, Noah Cameron, Chris Bubic, and Cole Reagans. And as you sit here right now, you feel good about one of those starters? Maybe 2? Is maybe 2 the answer? I mean, I think if you ask the text line wants to trade Seth Lugo and probably trade Michael Wacha because they don't have a chance of being competitive. So that's how quickly things turn in Major League Baseball and how quickly they've turned with the Kansas City Royals, where this is a group that you felt very strongly about last year and was a staple and really carried a bad offense for most of the season, that now fast forward a year later, and I mean, that rotation has been absolutely decimated with injury and just lack of productivity.
I can't speak for everyone. I will, when inevitably the Royals' offseason start talking about how injuries derailed their season, not going to let them get away with that. Because you can see it coming from a mile away. They're going to talk about how Vinny and Garcia and Bobby all got injured. They're going to talk about how, they suffered injuries in the starting pitching staff. Reagans didn't produce. They're going to point to injuries in 2026 at some point this offseason, and it's going to ring very lame with me. Maybe someone else will buy it, but I will not be buying that from the Royals because you know how the Royals operate. That is going to be the talking point coming out of Media Day or whatever the little event they have. Fan Fest is. No, not going to accept that. Not on this show.
I want to play for you guys a couple of Vern cuts here. Here is Vern talking about the Royals at the deadline. I imagine this is before they made the trade for Chris Bubic, who now plays for the Dodgers.
Man, if I would have told you on opening day that Maikel Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., and Cole Reagans are going to perform in as few games as they ever have as big leaguers, that Salvi would stink horribly for the first 3 months, and that Lucas Erceg, Matt Strom, and Vinny Pasquantino would all have the worst seasons of their big league career. That's Cole, Bobby, Michael, Salvi, Erceg, Strom, and Vinny. If I told you all those guys were going to let you down this season, you wouldn't be surprised that this team's on pace to lose 96 games. But you would hopefully take some solace in the fact that, hey, at the deadline, at least we'll be able to flip all-star left-hander Chris Bubic, who's going to be a free agent. At least we're going to be able to flip all-star closer Carlos Estevez, who's going to be a free agent. At least we can flip Jonathan India, who's going to be a free agent, along with Lane Thomas, who's going to be a free agent. Now, even the trade deadline has been sullied because of injury. So in a season that has been lost, you're even unable to make any gains at the deadline because the guys you were banking on, if this thing goes sideways, will move them. Those guys are injured and underperforming as well.
I think the least fun experience of being a sports fan has to be the baseball trade deadline. Like when your team's out of it and you just want your team to sell off parts. I mean, the NFL trade deadline is a little bit different. Like, you're not really beating down the door to trade guys in the NFL the same way we are at baseball. Every year you're out of it in Major League Baseball, your fans just instantly want you to trade people and then mad when you don't trade them. This is the bottom of the barrel of a fan experience that you can have, is being a seller at the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. Being a buyer is great. You know, back in 15 when they're making trades to go get Zobrist and Cueto, and now you're talking about how these pieces can potentially get you over the hump. Oh, that's fun. That's great. You're learning about guys. When you're trading guys who went to the All-Star game last year and you're picking up guys with a 4.5 ERA in AAA baseball, I'm telling you, this is the worst thing you can go through as a fan.
But, and we talk about this a lot on this show, do you know how there was a time in sports where owners had convinced fans that in Major League Baseball the only way to win was to lose? I think that exists at the trade deadline.
For sure.
Because outside of, the Skubal trade, or I know fans are kind of down on the Bubic trade, if you're a fan of the Angels today, they've made a few trades. Every prospect you got back's a star. That's there. Every fan thinks the AA 19-year-old that we just added at the deadline is a phenom ready to happen. We can think about this in Kansas City. I remember as a kid, I was young, dumb, naive. I thought the Beltran trade, the Royals got something. I thought, ooh, here comes Mike Wood. They got Mark Teahan. They're going to rebuild the system. This was good for everyone. Beltran's out of town. These are just the things that fans dupe themselves into believing when they have nothing but 19-year-olds to look at on a spreadsheet. That is it for the deadline. I agree with you, but I think there is a little bit of a hope reigns supreme because a 17-year-old in low A is throwing 99.
Text line 913-586-7965. We'll get back to sports here in just a bit. I recently saw this, so I haven't seen a lot of the backlash, and I also understand that not all of you have seen this, and maybe you will never see this video. Rob, I'm starting to really believe that Hollywood, and if you're in Hollywood for a very long time, it just morphs your brain. Like, you think differently than the rest of us. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what kind of social experiments they're doing on people up there. But just over time, you'll just do some weird stuff. Have you seen this Mario Lopez video? You haven't seen it?
I have not seen it.
Go on Mario Lopez's Twitter account.
Oh, boy.
I just want you to go on there, and it is a video of he and his niece, and they are at a baseball game. And I just want you to watch the video, and I just want you to give me your opinion of why you would post this if you are Mario Lopez. Why is this content on the internet? I just want you to watch it, and I just want you to give me your feeling on it. And you know what? While you're watching it, we'll hear the great sounds of Martha Reeves.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night.
All right, you gave me the thumbs up. You're ready. I had that.
I just watched the 27 seconds of Mario Lopez.
Martha Reeves is going to be our new hold music. You know how, like, when you got to put somebody on hold? I never understood why in customer service they ask you, can they put you on hold? You don't have a choice. I don't want to be on hold. No, I want you and I to keep communicating, to talk through this and figure it out. I don't want to be on hold, but I don't have a choice. So that's going to be our new hold music. Hold on real quick while Rob was watching something. We're going to let Martha Reeves be our new hold music. Is that not the weirdest video you ever seen in your life?
What? It's not like bad. It's just like, why? Why does it exist?
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That's what I mean. Sitting there, like, hey, I'm going to have a Dodger dog, go blue, let's make the postseason.
And it's an AI video. Like, in what world are you posting an AI video of your niece eating 2 hot dogs? It's the weirdest video I've ever seen in my entire life. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm telling you, if you go to Hollywood, you know how they study football players after they've passed to see if they have CTE, and we learn more about the human brain? If you live in Hollywood for a set amount of time, you got to donate your brain to science. I want to learn why you think the way that you think. Why do you operate the way that you operate? What are they doing in that place that gets you to do some of the weird things that we know these celebrities do? Nate Taylor's going to join us coming up in 20 minutes. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry. At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life, because a friend wants you to say, I do, to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, the crash up at 35 North, on 35 North, as you approach 69, you're going to want to scoot to the left through here. They're giving you a left lane and the left shoulder because 2 right lanes are blocked. Again, 35 North at 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
I'm a little surprised at the amount of people that are upset that we're playing the national anthem. Like, didn't we just spend all of June and July celebrating the fact that we're Americans, how proud we are to be from our country and to support it? Now there's an issue with me playing the national anthem. I'm confused. I'm a proud American. These colors don't run. We support America on this show. I think we don't play the national anthem enough. That should be the open of the show. Before we get going, Rob, instead of that random music we have right now, we should just have random renditions of the national anthem to get things going, to get us off on the right foot, to celebrate our freedom. That's what I think we should start doing. That's an idea that I have for the show.
Are you going to pick who does the national anthem?
I'm going to let the text line pick every day. I'm going to let the text line pick.
Have a poll question out there at 150?
What national anthem do you want today? Text line 913-586-7965. Some days we'll get some really good ones. Some days we'll get some we've never heard before. Some days we'll get Carl Lewis. Some days we'll get Roseanne. But we'll get some good ones for sure. We'll absolutely get some good ones at one point. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to be joined by Nate Taylor of ESPN. There's a lot of things to talk to him about, starting with he is all in on Cyrus Allen.
There was a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to me clearly. Listen to me closely. There was a moment today after that one-handed leaping catch in the middle of the field between defenders, perfectly thrown ball, and a one-handed catch where you saw the light bulb. You saw it flip for Patrick Mahomes where he said,
"Okay.
Oh, are we doing this today?" I know what I got in Xavier Worthy. Hey, I'll give you the prerequisite. Here's my one deep ball to Tyquan Thornton. Hey, here's my one occasional
one to Kelsey in the middle.
That's what my one occasional, corner shot hole to Kelsey. Back the hell up, everybody else, because 13's getting targeted over and over.
The catch he made off Noah Williams was just as good.
Yes.
Because it was tough and it was contested.
And it was back shoulder and the body control, the ball skills, giving your eyes to the quarterback. He's already advanced at that compared to, like, Jalen Royals.
I hadn't heard this. You know what? I see why you guys are so excited because Nate is handing out the cups of Kool-Aid right now. He mixed it up. I understand how if you're a Chiefs fan, you hear Nate Taylor go on the radio and say something like that. I understand how you get in on the hype train. I completely understand. So I can't be on here like, hey, let's see him in pads. Let's see what happens. How can I compete with what you just heard from Nate Taylor? He got me excited about Cyrus Allen. It's like, you see how advanced he was with his eyes and back shoulder? Like, oh, okay, all right. Then at the end, he brought it home. He's more advanced than Jalen Royals. I mean, it's not a high bar at this point. I don't know if Jalen Royals is ever getting on the field. I know it's early on in his career, but it already comes off like he's wide receiver 5 on. He's wide receiver 5 on the Chiefs. On the Chiefs. If that's the case, you're like wide receiver 8 at Ohio State. You're like wide receiver 6 at Oregon if you're wide receiver 5 on this team. You think you're starting at LSU if you're wide receiver 5 on the Chiefs? No chance you're starting. So yeah, I agree with that. I think Cyrus Allen's more advanced than Jalen Royals 100%.
I mean, like you said, that's the lowest bar to clear. I think Andrew Armstrong's ahead of Jalen Royals right now. I mean, he got run with the ones today. So yeah, you were gone. Nate was selling that hype. And then
he was.
I think that's why the injury happening over the weekend got people so mad and upset.
Yeah.
Because the hype train had left the station and then it promptly got derailed.
And the guy on the text line, let us be excited. No, you're right. I really don't. I don't have. There's some times where you guys get excited and I feel it's misplaced. Like when you guys were doing this with Justin Ross, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. When you guys were doing this for Jody Fortson, it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. I at least understand this Cyrus Allen. All I've said is let's just wait a little bit. It's early. They haven't had it. He hasn't done a padded practice yet. Let's just see a little bit more, and then you can go crazy. But let's just give it a little bit of time. But when you hear somebody like that, it's if the two voices are my voice saying let's wait a little bit and Nate Taylor's voice, I completely understand why you're on Nate Taylor's side. I'm sure. Someone on the text line does make a really, really good point, and one that I was thinking about earlier. Rob, did you know that we're really one day away? People are talking about the start of the NFL preseason, and they're getting excited to watch Kenny Pickett start for the Carolina Panthers on Thursday. Like I don't have any interest in watching that game. I'm watching Panthers-Cardinals preseason game. I'd rather watch Love Island reruns. I've already seen the show. I'd rather watch it. We are one day away from getting those political ads off of the show. We're one day away.
I think they'll run through tomorrow because people vote tonight.
Yeah, we got like 26 more hours of these political ads.
6 more hours on this show. We got 2 hours left today.
Whoever that one guy is screaming, I don't want him to win. I don't want him to win. I don't know. I don't even know his name. I don't know what he's running for. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if he's in Missouri or Kansas. I really don't know. I've got to the point. I've tuned that commercial out of my life. I don't want him to win. That's the only person I'm rooting against. I don't want him to win. Everybody else, I hope both teams try hard. I don't want him to win. I don't want him to win.
I just hope everyone has fun.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want everybody to love each other. I want everybody to compete. I want everybody to be on the same team. Here's Dana Hughes. Here he is talking about right now who is the camp flavor of the month, Cyrus Allen.
This is what is being discussed, like a 5th-round pick. I mean, I played with Dale Carter, who was an all-pro corner and still running down on punts and kickoffs. And, I started to look up guys. Matthew Slater, who was a perennial Pro Bowler and all-pro for the Patriots, was the 5th-round pick. You go back to Gary Stills, who's probably the best overall special teams guy that we've seen in Kansas City, was, a 3rd-round pick? And Dante, I mean, you can go on and on about players and different draft positions. The fact is, whoever those people are that are saying that, the game of football is dangerous. Things happen. I mean, we've seen Xavier Worthy bump into Travis Kelce and basically be lost for a year. I mean, things are going to happen. I definitely do not believe that anybody should be absolved from special teams. Maybe your first rounders at times.
That was Dana Hughes on the midday show earlier. I'm not surprised that's the stance from Dana. I'm on the same side as him, so that also plays a factor into it too. We're also talking about a guy like Dana made his bones being a special teams guy. So he is, of course, going to have the stance of 5th-round rookie, first camp, trying to prove himself, trying to get on the field by any means necessary, trying to impress the coaches by doing the little things, and that's going to be it. I believe it was Boise State's coach. I don't know Boise State's coach off the top of my head, but I was watching a clip, and he was saying how, guys come to him all the time saying that they want to go to the league, they want to go to the league. And he tells them the same thing every time. Well, then you got to learn how to play special teams then. That's what you need to learn how to do. If you're here at Boise State and you want a chance to make it to the NFL, you have to be willing to play special teams. The point we made earlier, Rob, there's only about 20 guys on your team that can play on special teams. Your quarterbacks aren't doing it. Travis Kelce's not doing it. Guys on your D-line, those guys are not doing it. So if you're going to be wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5, and you want to make a name for yourself and you want to hang around in the league, you got to play special teams. So I understand the frustration, and this is a guy who showed a lot of promise early on in camp, performed really well, and a guy that you're optimistic and hopeful for. But the anger is misplaced if you are frustrated that he is playing special teams in his first training camp week. He ain't been there 1 week of training camp. That guy is on special teams. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Nate Taylor of ESPN. We'll get his thoughts on the injuries. Also, I'll ask him, who does he think is the starting right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs? That's all coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man, Carrington Harrison.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, the crash up at 35 North, on 35 North, as you approach 69. You're going to want to scoot to the left through here. They're giving you a left lane and the left shoulder because 2 right lanes are blocked. Again, 35 North at 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco. Are high-interest credit cards and rising bills stressing your budget? You pay every month, but high interest makes getting ahead feel impossible. Your home's equity can help. A refinance with Golden Oak Lending consolidates debt into one manageable monthly payment, giving your budget room to breathe. Get a free mortgage checkup today. Call 913-890-GOLD or visit goldenoaklending.com. That's 913-890-GOLD. It's Golden Oak Lending, MLS 114937.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Kansas City football fans, Dana Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
Yeah.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal, ban communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, conservative warrior Taylor Burks, an America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
There's so much to talk about with our guest, Nate Taylor of ESPN, joining us on the show. Nate, how are you doing, man?
I am living the dream, Carrington. I just got back from St. Joseph, so I'm doing all right, man.
Okay, there is so much to talk about. You and we haven't talked Chiefs in probably a month or so I've got a bunch of questions stocked up. Let's start with this. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but there appears to be a serious competition right now for starting right tackle. Are you seeing it that way? Who do you think the team views as their starting right tackle?
Okay, I was actually hearing you in the car on my drive back earlier when the show started. I don't think it's a serious competition yet, and I'll give the reasons why. Jalen Moore, as you have said multiple times, he's making starter money, okay? We know he can play in the NFL because he's been in the NFL for 5 years. I know it's a nice story for Khalil Benson. This is the first day in pads, and it's clear to me, my read on it is the coaching staff already knows what they have in Jalen Moore. The question now is between today, the first day of pads, and that first preseason game against the Rams, how much can Khalil Benson show us with the first team getting real reps against George Karlaftis and obviously Ashley Gelati when he comes back from the hamstring injury and R. Mason Thomas. And, hey, let's even put Chris Jones out there, every now and then just to give him an idea of, like, hey, this is what it takes to, like, block, an all-world pass rusher from the interior going to the outside. I still find it hard to believe that when Patrick Mahomes is in uniform on September 14th against the Denver Broncos, you're not going to play Jalen Moore at right tackle. I think this is more about Khalil Benson's development long-term, and again, what he can show you between now and the first preseason game before you actually start having to preparing for the Denver Broncos.
What if Khalil Benson is exceptional with those opportunities? Because, and the point I made earlier is, it's not like they're doing this at every position. They're really only doing this on a select targeted positions. This is one, and it's standing out to me. So what if Benson, with these first team reps, goes out there and performs We don't think that then becomes even more of a conversation. Hey, this guy looks good. Maybe we got something here. We want to give him a more extended look. I know it's a very, very different position, so I don't want to compare the two.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean,
right.
this is kind of what happened with Russell Wilson. A team had a guy. This other guy just kept making plays, and it becomes so undeniable you had to play him, and then Matt Flynn never got an opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think what we've learned so far is the Chiefs like his makeup, right? They like Khalil Benson from a physical tool standpoint. He's got pretty good athleticism. We know he's got big game experience because he did protect, Fernando Mendoza in Indiana's, playoff championship undefeated season. So, again, you just want to see, okay, let's see him against higher competition. Let's see him really go through the playbook, and let's really see if he can, handle all of this. If he dominates, now I don't know. I mean, we don't know if we're going to get, I think Sean McVay is pretty clear about not playing his top player, so it'd be unfortunate if we don't see Myles Garrett against Khalil Benson in Arrowhead Stadium in a couple weeks. But if he does play well, then I'm willing to have a real conversation, because then it goes, all right, well, he demonstrated it much in the same way, you could tell immediately, and people might forget this, but, you could tell immediately with George Karlaftis, oh, yeah, that's an NFL player. That dude, he good. The first preseason game. You could tell that with, before all the injuries, Isaiah Pacheco. We thought, oh, they don't have a guy like that. That's cool. It's cool that he can do that. There are so many players that you see them in the first preseason game, and, yeah, they're raw, and they're talented, and they're young, and they still got to learn a lot. But you can easily tell, okay, that player is good. That player has something to offer to the team. If that happens, good on Khalil Benson. And then you got a real financial issue with Jalen Moore, because I don't know if you can necessarily trade him, or if he's just your swing tackle break in case of emergency, and see, again, how long Khalil Benson can take this, I guess, similar in the way that, the Chiefs gave Kingsley Suamataia every opportunity to be ready for opening night. He got through one game against the Baltimore Ravens, and then he found himself being a little bit overwhelmed by game two based on what he put on film in game one, and, of course, going up against one of the better pass rushers in Trey Hendrickson. So who knows? That may happen down the road, but I still think Jalen Moore is the safer option, considering that we saw him play well at times in the middle of last season.
So from what I'm hearing from you, and we can move on from this, I don't want to spend all day on it if you don't think that it's a story at this point. It sounds like you think it's a nothing story right now, but something to keep an eye on as we head into preseason game number 1, and that will likely answer this question.
Based on my understanding, the Chiefs coaching staff realizes we can learn more about Khalil Benson today and the rest of the month. We pretty much already know about Jalen Moore, and if Jalen Moore is that guy, we know he's professional enough to handle the job. But the only way to really, truly tap the potential of Khalil Benson is to give him as many reps as possible so that he's ready to demonstrate what he could be as a potential player in the preseason. It'll be fascinating, regardless of who's at quarterback to start these games. If Khalil Benson gets the start against the Rams, and then all of a sudden Jalen Moore is elevated back to being the right tackle the following week in preparation for week 2, who they get the second preseason game is what, against the Buccaneers? If Jalen Moore plays the second game of the preseason with the rest of the starters against the Buccaneers, then you'll pretty much have your answer about how this is going to go down on opening night.
All right, I want to go down the line here. We're talking with Nate Taylor of ESPN. Mansour Delane, if the Chiefs had a regular season game coming up this week, do you think Mansour Delane would play?
Nope, not at all, Carrington. And I don't even know if that answer is going to change in a month from now, which tells you, this is going to get tricky, guys. I don't think he would play a game this week. I mean, they held him out of, contact today for a reason, because the medical staff is just not comfortable with, whether or not his shoulder is fully healed. I mean, it's unfortunate because we know he has the physical tools and the traits to play well, but if you're not in pads right now, it's cool that you're out there. It's cool that you want to do some one-on-ones, some individual periods, but Andy wants the jersey to be taken off, the non-contact yellow jersey. I just don't know if that's going to happen sort of after training camp, which would be late August. And if the medical staff says, hey, there's no need to push him right now, all he needs is more time for that shoulder, and then you give him the extra 3 weeks, and you just say, hey, we have maybe a preseason game or two to get you, into the rhythm of it all. And then we have obviously a couple weeks before we play the Denver Broncos. But the funny thing about this, Carrington, is like they still don't have their actual depth chart. They don't know who their best cornerback is. It could be Mansour Lane. It could be Noah Williams, who's been really good so far in camp. Who knows when L'Jarius Sneed's going to take on 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 period. They just might give him the whole month to just not put any, wear and tear on his knee. So it's cool to know right now that okay, Christian Fulton's still in the mix, and hey, you know what you got out of Kennedy and Chris Roland Wallace. But for Mansour Delane, I'd be a little worried about if we're going to see him for that first preseason game.
Keeping it with Delane, do you think there's any chance that he starts the year on IR? Do you think there's any chance he's just not healthy when the season starts and they're just kind of forced to make a move?
That would be a clear setback. I just wonder if the medical staff, again, rightly so, if all you tell the coaching staff is, hey, yes, it's still his shoulder. If we just give him nothing from now until September 1st, cool with it. Cool. Because, hey, he's going to be on the 53-man roster. He's not going to start the season on, IR, which is whatever, 4 to 6 weeks. And, we can still get him, 10 to maybe 8 practices to get ready for the Denver Broncos. Now, he may not be in his true starter role. You may have to ease him into the season because he started late, coming out of training camp. But I don't think he's going to start on IR. That would make it seem like something went terribly wrong. But, I mean, he is on the field. But if you don't feel like he's comfortable for contact, then, yeah, anybody with any shoulder injury will tell you, hey, if you just give me a month, it'll probably feel better. So that's likely what they're doing.
Let's just keep it with shoulders. I'll ask the same question about Xavier Worthy. If this was the regular season, do you think Worthy would play?
Given what we learned about him last year, I would say yes. Xavier Worthy is one of the toughest dudes on the team. And I know he got up from, the diving catch that he had on Friday. And I understand that, it was a great play, too, because he made a nice catch, showed real, precision in his routes and, his awareness of the field as to where he was, which was kind of close to the sideline, but he made the catch in bounds. If they had to play a game today, I think he would play because Rashee Rice wouldn't. And so this is where the conversation goes of who is Patrick Mahomes' receivers if the season started today, guys? Really think about that. Cyrus Allen would not be on the field. Rashee Rice would not be on the field. I think Xavier Worthy could give you decent snaps. You got Tyquan Thornton and I guess Nico Remigio and Jalen Royals. So I don't question Xavier Worthy's toughness. I think fans, understandable, have to be wondering about can he be durable to be effective for the course of a 17-game season based on his body build. But I do think he would play. They say it's a sprain. He should be back to practice later this week. Now, you know me, Carrington, a veteran of any kind, would say, when's the first day we're not supposed to be in pass, coach? Is that Thursday? Yeah. Let me ease back in on Thursday.
So what you're saying now leads to this question then. Do you see them making a move? Because this is already a room that people are not overly excited about, and now we're already testing the depth of this thing over a month before the season gets going. It sounds to me like they need reinforcements, but all offseason they've continued to say we're fine at wide receiver. That is indeed the case, Carrington, and I mean, no one said anything to me about, hey, let's get on the horn and I know everyone's going to say, where's Stephon Diggs? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. They don't have a lot of money, Carrington. In fact, they have no money as of right now. They would have to make a move to create money to bring on Stephon Diggs, in my opinion, which leads to, once again, who's on that waiver wire, who got cut on cut down day. Is there any receiver that looked good in the preseason that just didn't quite make their team's roster? And Chiefs fans have to remember this because you were 6-11. You're actually pretty high now on the waiver wire claim. Hey, if something, I know it's going to drive you nuts, Carrington, but hey, what if Juju Smith-Schuster's available? Nate, I've never hung up on you before. I thought about it. I thought about it. Juju Smith-Schuster?
I mean, hey, I think McCole Hardman's making the Buffalo Bills roster, but you never know. You never know. I mean, just
Why can't they free themselves from the same 25 player Juju back?
Hey, can you help us out in the pitch, man? You know the playbook. You know what Pat likes. You know the system. Hey, come on down.
Oh, my goodness.
This is where they are, Carrington. And the problem with this is, and I know you mentioned it early, you guys mentioned it early in the show, and I agree with Rob, and I honestly wanted to take it a step further. Quietly, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2025 free agency class the worst in the Brett Veach era? Because we still don't know, as of now, even though I believe Jalen Moore will start, we still don't know if he's going to start. Christian Fulton, he couldn't start for you on day one, and then he wasn't really ready by, November. Hey, had a great December, though. But, he has a history of injuries. That Elijah Mitchell plan, that didn't work. They signed no one of significance in the free agency of 2 years ago. And that's why you can't get a receiver. Think about that. For all the Chiefs fans being like, where's the money, Nate? Well, hey, y'all wanted to pay Trey Smith, and they did that. Y'all wanted to pay Creed Humphrey. They did that. Hey, they even gave Patrick Mahomes an extension so that you can be assured that you're going to watch this man in the new Arrowhead in 2031, all right? You had to pay Chris Jones because there was no one else who could generate a consistent pass rush. And, oh, by the way, the one guy you picked out of the entire 2022 draft class that you wanted to retain, hey, you got him. And you got him early. And I'll give you congratulations on that with George Karlaftis, who plays a premium position, and you knew you would get better picks with trading Trent McDuffie. So you've accomplished much of what the fan base has wanted. Now, I don't know. We can go back and forth on the Nick Bolton of it all. But the reason I ain't got no receiver is because Jalen Moore is the 5th cap hit on the team. Christian Fulton might not start week 1 yet again. That money could have gone elsewhere. And you are relying, and I hate to be this person, you are relying on a 5th-round rookie receiver to be a part of your offense. It's clear to me, Carrington, I don't even need to see it in pads. Cyrus Allen is their 4th best receiver. And the most you can get out of him moving forward, the better you should be investing him on the offensive side of the ball. Now, I know he hasn't played special teams. I know he got hurt. It's unfortunate. But it was clear to me that, he's progressed much faster than Jalen Royals. You know what you're going to get from Nico Remigio in special teams. So, hey, why haven't they signed Stephon Diggs? The reason is because Jalen Moore is on the team and Christian Fulton's on the team. They have no money to really make a sizable move unless they extend, I don't know, Creed Humphrey or somebody.
Right now, we're talking to Nate Taylor of ESPN, just going through some of the top training camp stories. I understand that the conversation is going to be slanted towards the undrafted rookie in Khalil Benson or the 5th-round guy in Cyrus Allen making plays. I don't feel there's been enough conversation about Peter Woods and how well he looks so far at camp. He's been very, very good so far, but Cyrus Allen's the one kind of taking up all the headlines right now.
Yeah, well, again, it's easier it's easier for fans, and I get it because I get wrapped up in it too. It's easier for the fans to be like, wait, he made that catch? Dog. Or, man, Mahomes really throwing to that 13 guy a lot. And so you can put 2 and 2 together, right? When it becomes a Peter Woods, Mansour Delane might still be an all-pro. That's still in his future. Still a possibility. And he still might not be the best player in this draft class, Carrington, because Peter Woods has already made a believer out of Trey Smith. Trey Smith couldn't wait to get to the podium today, Carrington, to be like, have y'all seen this kid? This kid's real good. He's real good. He just learning. He don't even know all the techniques yet. The burst, the hand placement, he's already got multiple moves. I don't even think he's actually shown a spin move yet, but he can probably work on that if he wants to in training camp. Dominated the one-on-ones today. He was the leading note that I have in my camp notebook on ESPN.com if anybody wants to read it. He did really well. And now give credit where credit's due. They ain't messed him up yet, Carrington. They haven't asked him to put on weight. They ain't they've learned from the Mark Norman lot situation. Hey, bro, you just keep doing you, man, because Chris Jones is going to let you have a lot of one-on-ones, and we know you have the explosiveness and the tenacity to go after it. I mean, in some ways, he was a top draft pick at this point a year ago, right? And because of the disappointment at Clemson and the things that were asking him to do, which was a little bit out of character, he slipped in the draft. But man, the traits are there, boy. I mean, the Chiefs backup don't want to see Peter Woods, because if you're in a one-on-one and he knows it's a pass situation, he's probably wreaking some havoc. And so now you have, at least as of now, a player who you could put next to Chris Jones, and you have George Karlaftis healthy again. And so that pass rush should be more formidable. And that's really the key to the entire defense. Like, I feel like even though Mansour Delane was traded up for, and yeah, he's a sixth pick and he's supposed to replace Trent McDuffie, at least they had Trent McDuffie last year. They didn't have no one like Peter Woods a year ago.
Nate, I'm going to tell you something. I want you to promise not to laugh, because when I tell you this, I know you're going to laugh just because I'm the one telling you this. I caught myself today getting excited about Jake Bringingstool, and then I realized, like, I was doing the Chiefs fan thing. I was getting excited about tight end number 3 on the roster, and I had to catch myself. Like, I really was sitting there, I'm reading the camp, and I'm like, you know what, this guy might be able to help them this year.
Oh, it's a dream, ain't it? It's the best time of the year. It's all hopes and dreams, baby. He got a little something to him now. He can go up and go get it. He can be a nice seam ball catcher. If that's how you want to use him. I still don't know about the blocking of it all. You know, they didn't really sign him as a priority UDFA to, like, block people. You know, I guess they're putting that in the hands of Noah Gray yet again, and we'll see if Noah Gray's body can hold up, you know, blocking with Travis Kelce sort of being that roaming sort of free tight end to be used as a receiver on the edge as well. Yeah, man. I mean, it was this time last year, and I know he was a pro. He was a pro's pro. Man, Robert Tanya had a great camp. And you know how many times I threw him the ball, Carrington? Zilch. I mean, so for the Jared Wileys and the Jake Bringingstools, hey man, let's have a nice showdown during the preseason, man. Like those are the guys that are supposed to make preseason enjoyable. Because look, this is the great opportunity for Bringingstool, honestly, to make the roster. And I think he only has to beat one other guy. I think the Chiefs will bring 3 tight ends. Who knows? Maybe they'll keep 4, depending on the receiver and running back groups. But he's got a chance to make the roster, and so that should make his story interesting. But yeah, I didn't laugh because you're my friend and you asked me not to laugh.
But no, I caught myself laughing. I was like, man, I'm doing it. I was like, it's training camp. I'm falling for all of this. I will get you out of here with this last thing. I am getting a sense that this is being spun like this is a Felix Onyeudike redemption season. He's back. He's healthy. This is his last contract year. He understands the importance of it. I thought they were selling that real hard this weekend in St. Joe. Were you getting that vibe as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. Like, if it was ever going to happen, son, if it was ever going to click, now's the time. He's been through a lot, and it was cool. I actually saw his family up at training camp. I want to say Saturday, or yeah, it had to be Saturday because we were off Sunday. So I think I saw his family on Saturday, and they're lovely people. And it's been an interesting time for Felix. You know, he is the forgotten man in all of this. Doesn't mean he doesn't have talent. It's just, can you be a player that contributes to winning? Can you be a winning player? That's the next step for him. Because at one point we thought, hey, you might have a chance to be a star. You know, we all knew you're not a first-round pick. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. Felix Onyeudike-Uzomah was never a first-round pick. Never. Ever. Okay? As the hometown guy, you hope it works out. He was the last pick in the first round. You did that because he plays a premium position and you get the 5th-year option. Well, they ain't got no more 5th-year options, and he will have snaps afforded to him. There is no Charles Omenihu. There's no Mike Dana. Yeah, there's Ashton Gelati, who's probably your starter opposite of Karlaftis, but really after that it's you and R. Mason Thomas. So you guys are going to be in the rotation. You guys are going to have your chances on 3rd down. You know Spags loves to blitz, so you know if he brings extra pressure, that can potentially give you one-on-ones on the outside with the tackle or tight end. So be a winning player. That's all he needs to focus about. He doesn't have to worry about sacks. He just wants to get through the season healthy. I completely understand that. You know, I think Chris Jones and George Karlaftis understand how much they need him. And so they're doing the right thing as veterans to pump him up, to make sure that he is aware that they understand how important he is to the group as a pass rush, because the pass rush has to be better this year. The pass rush has to be the thing that leads the defense. And I truly believe that when George Karlaftis says it, because all that veteran experience from the secondary is on other teams right now. So if you can get winning contributions, I know everyone will remember he had a really nice play in the Super Bowl against the 49ers where he stopped Christian McCaffrey. That's a real play. It happened. So we know he can be a contributing player. It's just, can you prove it over the course of a 17-game season? Can you be healthy? And can you demonstrate that if it doesn't continue here in Kansas City, you can establish yourself in the NFL based on having the time and getting the chance to once again prove to yourself that, hey, if I'm on the field, I'm not a negative. And also, when my opportunity is there, I can make a play or two.
That is my guy, Nate Taylor of ESPN, joining us on the show today. He's putting in the hours in St. Joseph, Missouri. Nate, we'll catch up with you, man, as camp continues. Appreciate you.
Yeah, anytime, fellas.
Absolutely. That is Nate Taylor joining us on the show today. Always great to catch up with him. Coming up on the other side, Rob, let's spend a little bit of time talking about FAU, and there definitely was a tone this weekend about he understands the importance of this. He knows what he needs to do this year. He is ready to have a good season, and they desperately need him. I also have a question to ask you guys about the wide receiver room. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your home for all things Chiefs football and Royals baseball.
I'm a professional complainer.
Is The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes. No rake in any of the 3 contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER, forward and back.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. Tune in for the Fan Club Fridays at 1 o'clock with Cody and Gold, presented by Circa Sports. Want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes? Enter one of Circa Sports' premier football contests. Visit circasports.com for details. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Right lane still blocked. 35 north as you approach 69. You have the Secret here. Scoot to the left. You've got 2 left lanes and a shoulder. They're letting you get by, but right lane still blocked. 35 north at 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right. I don't know if I would consider this to be a struggle right now. I don't want to sound negative about the Chiefs because I don't know if there's a reason to be negative about the Chiefs. It's August 3rd, but all of the questions that we had about their wide receiver room, they are now being answered to us somewhat in real time. This is my question that I want to ask you guys now. When was the last time that you felt good about the Chiefs' options at wide receiver? Like, I really want you to think about it. 913-586-7965. When was the last time that you felt truly at peace and happy with what they have at wide receiver? Let me give you a frame of reference. Rob, how confident are you in their running back room? We like their running back room, right? They got a really good number 1. They've got an established vet as a number 2. They've got a young rookie there as a third option that people liked coming out of college. It took one offseason, but that went from being one of the weaknesses on this roster to now one of the strengths. When was the last time that you had the feeling that you have about the running back room, about their wide receiver room? And I only bring that up because their wide receivers were an issue in February. Their wide receivers were an issue in March. Their wide receivers were an issue at the draft. Their wide receivers were an issue after the draft. Now that we are here practicing, They're banged up already. Rashee Rice is banged up. Xavier Worthy is banged up. Cyrus Allen, you like him out of Cincinnati. He's now banged up. This check engine light has been on for the wide receivers for a while now. And I understand that you guys are really excited about Chad O'Shea, and he's going to come in and he's going to fix all the problems in the wide receiver room. Man, at some point, you got to have the bodies. And right now, it just doesn't feel like they have the bodies in that wide receiver room. They've been dealing with Xavier Worthy's shoulder now for almost a year. They've been dealing with this. Rashee Rice still isn't 100% healthy. We're not even counting you're going to get additional bumps and bruises. You got a room full of guys that all weigh less than 190. You think they're done getting hurt in that wide receiver room? They're not going to have any injuries? They're not going to be nicked up at some point? So maybe it has been a very recent time for you guys. When was the last time that you just felt really good about their wide receiver room?
I think my answer and Chiefs fans' answer are going to be different.
It might be 7 years ago.
I actually think 2 years ago now. Remember when they signed Hollywood Brown, they had drafted Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice was coming off the Super Bowl season. I think Chiefs fans in St. Joe that year were very confident in the wide receivers. Then the preseason happened, injuries happened, it all fell apart. But I think the average fan is lying to himself if they say 2019, because I think there was actual optimism and belief in this wide receiver room when it was Brown, Worthy, and Rice. It just immediately imploded.
Yeah, and I hear what you're saying. But I guess what I would counter with is the excitement that you had coming into the season, there was a major asterisk attached to it because their number one wide receiver was out for the first 6 games of the season. Like, I hear what you're saying. We were drunk off the possibility of what if they get everybody healthy, they never did that last year. Think about that. They had a 2-year stretch in which we talked about all of the possibilities for their offense. Man, if they could get Rice and Worthy and Hollywood Brown and they could get all these guys on the field at the same time, what games did that happen for the Chiefs? Now, they went to Super Bowl one of the years, but what game did that happen for them? So again, I genuinely, I don't want to sound negative. It's early August, but we've all known that wide receiver is an issue for the Kansas City Chiefs. We are now 1 week into training camp. What has been their biggest issue so far with this team? What's been issue number one? It ain't even Patrick Mahomes' health. We won't even talk about Patrick Mahomes' knee anymore. Everybody feels good about it. He's out there practicing, man. He's jumping up and down. He's doing all this stuff. Hey, Mahomes is going to be there. We don't talk about the corners. We don't talk about any of these guys. You knew it was a point of issue coming into it, and it's just continued to be that as training camp has progressed. And we got a long way to go. They got a long way to go. It's early August. They still got 6 weeks until the games actually count. We still got 5 months until the playoffs start. That's a long time to get Rashee Rice. A lot of things can happen. A long time with Xavier Worthy. A long time with some of these other guys. I just want to feel good about their wide receiver room. And again, it's just been a while since you felt really good about it. Did you get the same the same feeling that I had about FAU? This weekend to me felt like the FAU pump-up speech that fans needed. He understands. He's been working hard. He's been doing all of those things. And here we go. That's what it feels to me.
I agree that's what I heard, but I also don't really care about that because it sounds a lot like best shape of my life.
Oh, it absolutely feels like that.
It's a different conversation, but it's the same conversation. Hey, he trusts himself. He's healthy. He's feeling good. It is all the things you say when you're trying to find a guy who there is a hope there is still potential. They can unlock that potential.
I would ask this, though, and maybe I would defend Felix a little bit here. I'll throw him a little bit of bail here when it comes to this. I hope that Felix understands the urgency of what we're talking about because he could be out of the league in the next 18 months. I know people are going to think that sounds crazy. We all follow the NFL. You can click on a lot of guys in which you thought it was going to go one way. You now look up and they had 3 years in the National Football League. Like, we can give you a lot of Chiefs examples of that ended up being the case. That you think they're going to get these multiple opportunities, and then the league just moves on, and they don't get a whole bunch of other chances. So if you're him and you're in now the final year of your rookie contract, and last year you were banged up, man, this season you got to show that you are an NFL player. And he's never shown that he's a consistent NFL player this year. You're not asking Felix to go out there and put up 9 sacks and kind of have one of those seasons, but he needs to be somebody that you can rely on for next season. He needs to be a guy that you feel comfortable giving a contract to. Because, Rob, you and I know how this goes. Now that you're off that rookie deal, and just inevitably, somebody's got to give you a new deal. Now, it's a little bit different. The Chiefs, they've been paying you on a first-round contract, so you haven't been getting that rookie deal. But if you're another team and you don't have the hometown discount and you're not locked in because you already spent that first-round pick on them, would you rather spend a 5th or a 6th-round pick on a guy and kind of develop him or groom him, or spend $1 to $2 million on a veteran deal for FAU if he's never proved himself? And that's how guys lose jobs and how guys ultimately get squeezed out of the league.
I think we're saying the same thing. Maybe it's just semantics. He is, 6 months away from being to get signed by someone and they consider it the Veach special? Oh, he signed with the Bucks. He's a first-round pick. We think we can unlock him. And then at camp, they realize, a 5th-rounder might beat him out. Like, that's his future. Now, if he's good this year,
changes it.
I don't think he's going to get a mega deal, but he can get Mike Dana's deal somewhere
100%.
And be an NFL player. And that is a good life to have here at FAU. But it is either, you're a Chicago Bear and they're saying, hey, he was a first rounder, let's see if they can unlock him, or he's signing with the Panthers for $6 million and they're saying we have FAU on the roster.
For sure. I mean, he will get another opportunity because he was a first-round pick and he's still a very, very young player. So I don't want to make it seem like this is his last year. That's the only chance that you get. He's 24 years old. You finish out your rookie season, you're 25 next year. If this is another flame-out season for you, and you've done basically nothing so far, and now you're trying to work in free agency and you try to find that one shot, you maybe get one more. I don't know if Felix gets 2 or 3 more opportunities if you're him. Like, you got to start putting some tape together. You got to start putting a resume. You got to start showing that you belong to be here in this league. What they say, the average is 2.5 years, 3.5 years. That's the same if you're a first-round pick, too. There's a lot of turnover in this league. We'll keep the Chiefs conversation going. Training camp is going. The Chiefs have their first padded practice today. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with prominent Mizzou fan Carrington Harrison.
I support Kansas. I want Kansas to win.
On 96.5, The Fan.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. Bald.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Johnny Dare. Everyone shopping New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola have been saving an unbelievable amount of money on brand new trucks, Jeeps, and SUVs that have slight cosmetic damage from the spring hailstorm. New Century has a wide variety of these vehicles left that are priced to sell. Save thousands and still receive all the factory incentives. Go see my friends at New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram while these deals last. Remember, you'll always pay less in Paola.
See dealer for details.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft.
since 1915. Shop in store or at Hellsberg.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where 24-pack Crayola crayons are just 50 cents?
Staples has folders, notebooks, and pens at great prices.
I'm smiling from ear to ear.
It's the most wonderful time.
Mom, I missed the bus of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples, where school supplies start at just 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit your local Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic? Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the car crash kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Right lane still blocked. 35 north as you approach 69. You have the Secret Hair scoot to the left. You've got 2 left lanes and a shoulder. They're letting you get by, but right lane still blocked. 35 north at 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. We were talking about Felix Anudike-Uzomah, and I mean, this is an important year. It really goes without saying. So far in his career, he has played 2 seasons. He missed last year with an injury. He has 3 sacks so far. He's only made 3 starts in his NFL career. So he needs to really get going this season, and this team could desperately use him to help this team out. Rob, let's go back to earlier when we had Nate Taylor on the show, and we just didn't get a chance to talk about it. What did you make of what he had to say about Mansour Delane? I asked him earlier, I said, would Mansour Delane play if this was a regular season week? He said no. He also said he wasn't sure if he would play if the game is in a month either. At least from Nate Taylor, the injury to Mansour Delane is maybe a little bit more serious than the Chiefs are letting on. Now, you still got some time. They're about 6 weeks away from actually playing their first game against the Broncos, but we are not talking about an established veteran player who is just missing training camp and missing practice or not able to do all of the things. We're talking about a guy who hasn't played at this level, who's trying to learn the system. Things are moving faster. You got to process things that you never had before, and you're also dealing with this injury at the same time. I think all of us have kind of treated Mansour Delane as you were the number 6 overall pick, you play corner, instant plug and play, you're this team's number 1. He's having a little bit of a setback because of this injury and just not being able to do all the things that you need to do to get prepared for the city or for the season. I am a little bit worried about Mansour Delane, if I'm being honest. I was a little bit worried before. You and I talked about it off air that I was a little bit worried about it. But now hearing that from Nate Taylor, that he would not play if it was a game, because at least how it came off was that they were holding him off for precaution, which makes a lot of sense. Hey, why push it? It's early on in the season. I agree with what he said about Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy might be out, but Worthy showed us last year, hey, I might be banged up, but I can push through it and I can play in this scenario. We're obviously learning about Mansour Delane in that way. We don't have any frame of reference or sample size when it comes to that. But the fact that he said that Mansour Delane isn't healthy enough to play right now, I thought was kind of alarming.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, when it first happened, when they reported to camp a couple weeks ago and Delane was in the yellow jersey, I was like a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10. Almost no concern. Like, okay, whatever. Then the first couple weeks of practice go by, I feel largely the same. Even when they put the pads on the day he was in the yellow jersey, all right, pretty low level. But when Nate Taylor says it might be up to the regular season, they're hoping to get him some run in the second and third preseason game to get him up to speed. I'm not saying it's a 5-alarm fire, but my 1 to 10 worry level jumps to a 3, 3.5. I mean, Andy Reid and people around the NFL tell me how important camp is. The way Nate Taylor's talking is that Mansour Delane might not play in St. Joe. He might not be in the red jersey in St. Joe, or I guess the defense wears white, but he might not be in pads in St. Joe. So if camp is of the utmost importance and he's not participating, does he hit the ground running the way everyone anticipated? So I still am low on the worry meter, but it is slowly ticking upward. I'm like a 3, 3.5 right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is just something that, again, I think we all just kind of overlooked it, because I went back. So he got hurt at OTAs. If you remember, he didn't finish OTAs. We're talking about, it was a while ago that you had this injury. Like, this wasn't something that popped up day 2 of camp and you're being held out for it. This was something that happened over a month ago. You now are back and you're at practice and able to do some of the things, but no contact. You're not being able to fully participate in everything. That's a really, really big deal, I think, for Mansour Delane, where you were just counting on him, and you still are obviously counting on him. But I mean, for a cornerback room that has a lot of youth but doesn't have a lot of experience, you were kind of counting on Mansour Delane to be kind of one of those plug and play guys, and you wouldn't have to spend too much time worrying about that. You were going to have Delane on one side, you were going to have Noel Williams, who was putting together a really good camp, and then you were going to hope that everybody else just kind of fit in accordingly and found their way onto the roster. Potentially not having Mansour Delane early on in the season is something to note. I'm with you. I think it's probably a 2 or a 3. I don't think it's anything to be super worried about right now. But the fact that your first-round pick is not participating fully in camp right now and the lead beat writer is saying he wouldn't play if it was a game certainly seems like something of note.
I also think that whole cornerback room in general is slowly becoming of note. Not that they're bad, not that they're, cause for alarm, but L'Jarius Sneed isn't practicing, or at least Nate Taylor made it seem like he doesn't do the full 11 on 11. We mentioned Delane. No Williams has been a star at camp. I haven't heard anything about Jaden Kennedy. I don't know if you have. I haven't heard anything about Kader Kohu. Like, their cornerback room kind of looks like their wide receiver room if, Sneed and Delane aren't going to practice. I don't think it's as bad as the wide receiver room, but it's something to keep an eye on if we get closer and closer to actual preseason games and their cornerback room is a bunch of guys you've never heard of.
I will say this, because they have 2 first-round picks. I don't feel like Peter Woods is getting nearly the hype that he should be getting. And I understand.
It's coming, by the way.
I'm with you. I understand because of storylines. Cyrus Allen has kind of gotten the gold star so far. He had a very good start to camp. A little bit of a surprise. Mansour Delane, a top 10 pick, dealing with an injury over so far. But the comments today directed towards Peter Woods and watching the clips of him going head-to-head up against Trey Smith and seeing him able to hold his own have to really, really encourage you about this. One of the, I guess, incorrect things that I think NFL fans think is, and you've seen this before, Well, Seattle just had a lot of good guys on their defensive line, but not anybody great. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I think they got 3 guys that are going to make $100 million in NFL salaries. They got 3 high-end kind of players. That's what you need to start building. We'll talk more about this coming up at the hits. One of the things that the Chiefs really, really need is they don't have a lot of star players under the age of 30 years old. Like, you got to start developing those players. You need guys like Peter Woods to turn out to be stars the way that JSN is. You need guys like Kenneth Walker to continue to play at this high level. You need guys like Mansour Delane to be one of the 5 best corners in the league like Devin Weatherspoon is. Like, they just don't have a lot of those guys. So one of the reasons with the Jalen Moore is, hey, you only get so many of these second contracts. Everybody can't get paid. When you make the decision to pay one guy, that says no to paying somebody else. So when we have these conversations, like, hey, what about cap space? What about this? What about that? One of the things is they got money tied up into Jalen Moore. So if he's going to start, great. That's what you're paying him to do. He can't be your backup and you're sitting one of your biggest cap hits and he's waiting to see if somebody gets injured. No, that guy has to be a significant contributor to what you're doing and a guy that has to help you win every single Sunday. He has to win that job at right tackle. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to get the latest from the Royals as the trade deadline is ending. We're also going to keep talking Chiefs here as training camp is in full swing. The Chiefs had their first padded practice today, and I want to take a trip through the Chiefs 2025 free agency because it has turned out to be one of the flaws with this team. We'll get to it next. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive is always streaming live on our YouTube channel.
If you're a bad tipper, that's okay. You're all right. I'm not here to judge you for that.
Just search for 965 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Right lane still blocked. 35 north as you approach 69. You have the Secret Hair scoot to the left. You've got 2 left lanes and a shoulder. They're letting you get by, but right lane still blocked. 35 north at 69. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about award-winning chefs. Yes, chef. And why they choose Duke's Mayo. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Baseball fans, you think you know who's hitting a homer today? Well, FanDuel's giving you a free chance to call your shot with Daily Dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. You got nothing to lose and a lot to gain, and you can make a free pick every day during the MLB season. It's just another reason why FanDuel's the home for home runs. If you're ready to play your game today, join all the action at FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They say 40 is the new 20, and that's because guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are walking around with the testosterone levels of their 20s. If you want that energy drive, the libido of your younger self, then go to Low T Center like the thousands of other men have. Go to fixmylowt.com and book your free T test today.
Kansas City storms can leave behind roof damage you can't always see. Hail and high winds may have compromised your roof, even if everything looks fine from the ground. That's why Century Roofing offers a free roof inspection and handles the insurance process from start to finish. For over 36 years and more than 36,000 roofs installed, homeowners have trusted Century Roofing. Voted best roofing company in Johnson County for 5 years straight and best in Kansas City 2 years in a row. KC-based and female-owned. Visit CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the pillars of strength.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Participation may vary.
Meet Taylor Burks, the woke liberal play-acting Republican to run for Congress. Burks bankrolled and praised a never-Trumper, then attacked President Trump and his supporters. Burks' PAC even endorsed a Democrat who backed Hillary Clinton for president. Never Trump money, Democrat endorsement, liberal applause. And while serving on the board of Truman State University, Taylor Burks oversaw the school's transition into a cesspool of woke garbage. Under his watch, a performance of the vulgar vagina monologues, mocking conservative values, and a pride exchange closet, providing new clothes after sex changes, the go-to boutique for trans students looking for a wardrobe tailored to them. Woke Taylor Burks, a bad fit for Missouri. The two-faced liberal phony we can't trust. Win It Backpack is responsible for the content of this ad. Paid for by Win It Backpack. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. WinItBackpack.com.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right. I would like to start here in the 5 o'clock hour. Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. I used to strongly believe this, and it's changed now because high school recruiting isn't as important as it used to be in college athletics. But if you wanted to explain why a team was the way that they were in college sports, just go on Rivals. Look at the recruiting class. It'll tell you why. If you were like really curious on why your team wasn't good, you could just go on there and you would see. And it would be very, very clear kind of on how you got there, so to speak. So with this conversation about Jalen Moore, it got me kind of looking at last year's free agents and why I think it was very necessary for the Chiefs to turn over their roster and where they currently are. So, Rob, last season, the biggest contract that the Chiefs gave out in free agency was Jalen Moore. They signed Jalen Moore to a 2-year, $30 million contract last year, and 21.6 of it are guaranteed. Now, I fully understand that I believe the initial plan for Jalen Moore was to be their starting left tackle. And then the board felt exactly how they wanted it to, and Josh Simmons was there. Great. If you got a chance to take your starting left tackle in the first round of the NFL draft, you take him. But I do think you have to then note this. Jalen Moore wasn't then good enough to beat out Jawan Taylor on the other side, a guy who had a penalty problem last season. And right now, at least to me, and I'd certainly trust my guy, Nate Taylor, it appears to me that he is in a camp position battle. Like, I can't be the only one that thinks this. The last 3 days of Chiefs camp, when they have broke the huddle with their 11-on-11 drills, he has not been their starting right tackle. There's no other position on the field in which they are doing this. If this was commonplace and they were doing this with Travis Kelce or they were doing this with Chris Jones because they want to get somebody else reps, we might be having a little bit of a conversation. But for a guy in Jalen Moore who has never been a consistent starter on the right side, I know he's experienced. I know this is his 6th year in the league. But, Rob, he needs those reps too. If those reps are super important for Patrick Mahomes to be getting them on one leg right now, as he's just being cleared and you're not giving those reps away, then yeah, these reps are important for everybody at this stage in preparation and getting ready for the season. So I think that we have a right tackle competition. So last year, they go get Jalen Moore. Now, I understand the concept of you want depth, and depth is super important. I don't think anyone can argue the importance of depth. But where I would maybe challenge Chiefs fans in this conversation is I don't want the argument of depth to now be a crutch for the rest of your roster. Because if you're looking at where they are right now, I think this team just needs an infusion of young stars. When the Chiefs were a dynasty and the clear best team in the NFL and the clear best team in the AFC, they had guys playing in their prime, in their late 20s, playing at a high level. The top of the roster is changing a little bit. You're still overly reliant, I think, on some of the older players. And now you're in that bridge where you need the new stars to emerge. You need to feel compelled to go buy new Chiefs jerseys over the next 2 years. You've been wearing the Mahomes, you've been wearing the Kelce, you've been wearing the Jones, and that's great. But you need to feel like I need to go get a Mansour Delane jersey. I need to go get a Peter Woods. I need to go get one of these young guys because I love how they're playing. So, I mean, these are their 5 highest paid players on the team. It's Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, in terms of cap hit for this upcoming season. Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, and Jalen Moore on this team. So, Chris Jones, we agree, a little bit past his prime. Patrick Mahomes, your quarterback. Different conversation. Trey Smith, right guard. Nick Bolton, middle linebacker. And Jalen Moore, potential swing tackle for your team. If you want to kind of have some of the conversations about A, how their roster got to this point, B, why they don't have money for some of these other things, they need another wide receiver. Nate's telling us they don't have the cash available. They could use another defensive lineman. They could use these things, but the cap is spent because they've allocated for all of these things. Man, some of it is they've paid non-premium positions, Rob, which you and I have talked about. And a lot of these 1-year, 2-year deals for free agents that they've signed these last couple of years, they just haven't worked out. Last year, these were their 5 highest paid free agents, Jalen Moore and Christian Fulton. Christian Fulton didn't play for them basically last year, and Jalen Moore was a backup. Charles Omenihu, probably one of the more disappointing players on their defense last year. Elijah Mitchell, witness protection, had no clue where he was during the season. And Jerry Tillery, who didn't really help you last year. So you got inconsistent productivity from your draft picks last year, and you basically got nothing from your free agency. That's how last year happened. So now as they are turning this roster over, and now you're giving guys like Noah Williams more of an opportunity, Mansour Delane's going to start, this team's got to start developing some young stars. When this team was at its best, they had a lot of guys who were on rookie deals who were greatly outperforming their rookie contracts. They just don't have a lot of guys like that currently on their roster. They need to start getting those guys in fast to get back to competing at that championship level.
It is not, I said this earlier in the show, it's not the reason why the Chiefs didn't go to the Super Bowl last year, and it might not be the reason why they don't go to the Super Bowl this year. But you know how we talk about free agency is you chase the ghosts of bad draft picks? Well, when you chase the ghosts of bad draft picks and then you pay players who don't fill the void, you're really behind the 8 ball. And the Chiefs last year signed Christian Fulton and they signed Jalen Moore. Now, these were not $72 million mega deals, but it was their 2 day 1. Wow, they did this free agency moves. Those guys can't get on the field. They just can't. Jalen Moore only on the field because Josh Simmons went MIA, and Christian Fulton can't get on the field, period, into discussion. So one of the reasons why the Chiefs are hamstrung to go get a Stephon Diggs, one of the reasons why this offseason they weren't maybe as aggressive with every need they had as you would like as a fan, is because last offseason they paid the wrong guys to get no production out of them. Again, Not a devastating contract. It wasn't like they signed the Le'Veon Bell contract, but it's still, when you miss in free agency, you feel it.
For sure. And, I mean, the Jalen Moore contract can still turn around and be a good deal. If he's a positive starter for you at right tackle, that is not a negative. That's a positive. If you're looking at the hierarchy of how much guys get paid at that position, we are not talking about a substantial amount of money for Jalen Moore. But that guy can't be your swing tackle. Swing tackle is Issa Pole. If Issa Pole is your swing tackle and you've taken that $14 million and you put that to the D-line, you put that on a safety, you put that on a wide receiver, different situation. If Khalil Benson, the undrafted kid out of Indiana, if he becomes your swing tackle sixth if a guy goes down with an injury, like we're talking about great value where the Chiefs were their best. Or when you had Nick Bolton, who's getting 110 tackles, but you're paying him on a second-round deal. When you got the best center in the AFC and Creed Humphrey on a second-round deal. When you got Trey Smith, a starter, on a sixth-round contract, but he's an every-down starter for you at right guard and is playing like a Pro Bowl kind of guy. They just don't have a lot of value right now, I would say, on their team. They've kind of run out of the value. And now, when you got so many of these young players that they're trying to develop, you need Cyrus Allen to be that. You need Cyrus Allen to be a guy that gives you 900 yards, but is doing so on a fifth-round deal. You need Noel Williams, who's a mid-round pick. You need him to develop to be a solid number 2 option with Mansour Delane. Those are the kind of contracts that they got to start developing.
They need to find guys that you want to keep for a second contract. When was the last time that – I'm talking like definitive, because even George Karlaftis got some friction when they did that. When was the last time they had a second contract, we draft this guy, we're going to pay him, and everyone in Kansas City went, well, yeah, duh, you have to do that?
Tyreek Hill.
I was going to say Mahomes, but Tyreek Hill's another good answer. That was a little bit of a unique
we're having the conversation. I mean, Creed Humphrey was that way.
That's fair. But even Nick Bolton was like, because of his positional value, and Trey Smith, great players, by the way.
You and I both didn't want either one of those contracts.
When was the last time it was like a position that the fan base all said, yeah, we have to get that guy locked up? That's the problem. I'm not saying Brett Veach's a bad drafter, because you're right. Creed Humphrey's good. Trey Smith's good. Nick Bolton's good. Like, we can name, I think Josh Simmons is good. I mean, you can just disagree on that one. That's fine. But, like, they haven't found that, no doubt, we're making him a pillar of our franchise guy in the draft at a position where you build around for pillars. That's why they chase in free agency, and that's why those misses really stand out.
I at least want to clear up, because I don't want you to just throw that you don't think that Josh Simmons is a good player.
I think he's better than you do at this point.
No, and that's not even an accurate depiction of my opinion. I was arguing people with this on Twitter earlier today. I'm happy to clarify my stance. I think that Josh Simmons is a promising player, but you can't show up for work half of the time and then me treat you like you were there all the time. He played in less than 50% of their snaps last season. Now, some of it was personal stuff, and I'm not holding that against you. And also for the second consecutive season, he couldn't finish because of injury. So my stance on Josh Simmons is kind of the stance with some of these other guys. Man, I got to see you prove it. This is the National Football League. We're talking about the absolute highest level. Potential's great. You know what's greater than the potential? Production. So some of these guys that we've been talking about, and we think that, hey, this guy's going to be a star, this guy's going to be that. They got about 15 guys that they are relying on with really no resume and no track record. And that's just a little bit different than what I think we're used to. When the Chiefs were at their absolute power, it was run it back. It was guys that played in big-time games, played in playoff games, won playoff games, and guys that you could count on and rely on in those situations. You lost a large majority of those guys now, and you're starting the process over again and trying to do so on the fly while still competing for a division and still trying to win for a championship. So I don't want to make it seem like I don't think that Josh Simmons is good and he's not a good player. But you can't miss more than half of the games last year and me not look at you like being a question mark. So he is still a question mark for me heading into the season. But now he's been healthy. He looks like he is in incredible shape heading into the season. I just want Josh Simmons to be over there, and it's week 11, and they got a super important game, and you can rely on him to neutralize one of the better pass rushers in the league, and you do that week in and week out. We just didn't get a chance to see that last year because the season was so weird.
You're right. I phrased your position on Josh Simmons.
No, that's fine.
Unfairly.
I just want to clarify because I feel like I'm being painted as I'm anti-Josh Simmons, and I'm obviously not anti-Josh Simmons. I'm just not going to treat him like he's Creed. Like, I feel like people are putting him in the same category that we put Creed Humphrey after year one. He was not Creed Humphrey in year one last year at left tackle.
I think he is trend line that direction, but I agree with you. He's not a solid in that world yet. I just meant he is probably the last time that I've seen the Chiefs draft a position of value that I feel like when his contract comes up, it'll be one that fans say, oh, yes, you have to keep that guy. Because to date, it hasn't been pillars, it's been support beams, for lack of a better term, with the Chiefs drafting. And now, as the roster churn begins and they're turning over, they need to start finding those pillars.
All right, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Karen, the hits are brought to you by Call the Lawman today at Jungle Law. It's 816-816-9111. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, it's make sure time to call the Lawman.
Rob, when you start referring to Jungle Law, can you please refer to him as friend of the show?
I don't know if you can friend the show without bringing the monkey. That's my new rule.
It's a good point. He did bring 2 gifts. He
did bring 2
gave me
gifts.
a gift, and he gave you a gift as well.
He is
a very nice gift. He did give both of us.
I'm not saying he's not close to friendship. I would say he's strong acquaintance. But
shout out to my guy Tristan.
We were planning for monkeys in studio, and we got no monkey.
You know what? We're on a first name basis. Shout out to Tristan. Shout out to Tristan. I just have him say to my phone, it's Jungle Law. I got to start calling him Tristan. It's Jungle Law. Oh, you're Jungle Law. No, that's not it. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Royals. Someone was mad on the text line that we haven't given them enough Major League Baseball trade deadline. And them trading Chris Bubic away for a AAA pitcher on the Dodgers just ain't really moving it for me. I got to be real with you. Just not when football is here. It's not really doing it for me. But we do need to acknowledge it. We do need to talk about it in the hits today. I don't believe the Royals had a choice. They didn't have a choice. Chris Bubic is likely not re-signing with them this offseason. He's likely not re-signing. He also is currently not healthy. So he's not healthy for a team that has no chance of making the playoffs, and he is not re-signing in the offseason. This is not the NFL where you get a compensatory pick if he goes on to be a free agent for someone else. This is not the NBA where you can do a sign and trade at the end of the season. It was a very simple, you can either keep Chris Bubic, let him finish out his career in Kansas City, he goes sign with another team and you get nothing, or you can take what another team is willing to give you for Chris Bubic. And they took what the Dodgers were willing to give them. This is kind of what you do if you're a team that is in a position of power, where if you're a team like the Dodgers and you've got all the resources in the world, you got a great farm system, you got all the money in the world, and right now your starting pitching is a little bit banged up, you know what you do? Take advantage of people like the Royals. It kind of reminds me of that scene on The Wire. I don't think I've ever made a reference to this. For those of you that have seen The Wire, you remember when Fat Face Andre was running from Marlowe and he went to Prop Joe and he was trying to sell his convenience store, and he was like, well, the price of it depends on the contents of it and the person that is selling it and what kind of situation are you in. That guy was trying to save his life. You're not really in a position to be bartering at that point. If you're the Royals and you are about to lose Chris Bubic, you are not going to keep him and get nothing. Would you rather get something or nothing? And that's exactly what they took. More than anything, to me, what is interesting about this entire move is how quickly things have turned with their rotation. We did this earlier. Last year, they had 6 starters that started double-digit games for them. Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, Michael Lorenzen, Noah Cameron, Chris Bubic, and Cole Ragans. Those were the 6. Michael Wacha, people thought he should have been traded. Lugo was probably in that same conversation, but Lugo didn't get moved. Michael Lorenzen's not on the team. Noah Cameron, his ERA is 2 runs higher than it was last year. So early on in his career, kind of caught lightning in a bottle in his rookie season, not having as promising of a start as he did last year. Chris Bubic just got traded, and Cole Ragans' elbow was messed up. Like, we were having the conversation about the Chiefs and the roster and the turnover and how quickly some things changed. things got to change for the Royals too. Their starting pitching used to be the strength and foundation for this team. Why the Royals were in it, why they gave you any hope that they could turn things around, was the strength of their starting pitching and that their offense was going to turn things around. Fast forward a year later, their starting pitching has been decimated by injuries or trades or just natural regression. You don't feel the same way about a guy like Vinny Pasquantino that you maybe did a year ago. And now you look at the rest of the roster, you look at the division. The White Sox were not a team that we spent a lot of time talking about last year. White Sox might win the American League Central. So this entire division has been kind of flipped on its head over the last 12 months, and the Royals now just seem very far behind where they felt like they were running a pretty competitive race just a year ago.
To that point about how the division has flipped, and this has been a common sentiment on social media, which social media is always going to be the, light their torches mob. Are you surprised the Royals weren't more active today? Because they've basically made...
more active in terms of them acquiring players or letting go of players?
Letting go of players. Because basically all they did was they traded Chris Bubic for a AAA relief arm who will probably make the main roster soon. And then over the weekend when you were in Vegas, they traded Layden Thomas for a couple mid-level prospects. That's it. John Schreiber still on the team. Michael Wacha still on the team. Seth Lugo still on the team. Are you surprised with the lack of selling on top of everything else?
No, I'm not, because you can already see the groundwork and the foundation of what the Royals are going to do next season. You can already see it. They traded 2 players that had no chance of being on the team next year. They traded 2 players that had no chance of being on the team. Lane Thomas wasn't going to be back. Neither was Chris Bubic. The guys that they decided to keep were guys that they have under contract. They have Seth Lugo under contract for 2 more seasons. They have Michael Wacha under contract for potentially 3 more seasons. So I'm not surprised that they didn't give up on those guys. Hey, you guys are trying to lowball us. We're going to keep them. We're going to try to be competitive next year and go elsewhere. Now, maybe you might disagree with the Royals' logic on all of that, and they got to show us if they can be competitive. But I'm not surprised that they traded the 2 pieces that they could not keep. There's no world in which you could keep Lane Thomas. For what? What reason are you keeping him for? What reason were you keeping Chris Bubic for? There's a reason to keep Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha if you think you're going to be good next year. That's why they kept him.
I agree. That's their plan. I don't know. And listen, the Royals have had a disconnect with fans a couple times in their history. I don't know if I've seen a disconnect this big, though, because fans feel like there's no chance they're competitive next year. Now, fans
I just don't know how you can say that given what we're seeing right now with the White Sox. Like
I would say their farm system was a lot better than the Royals, though.
I agree, but I understand being frustrated about the way that the Royals are playing. I really do understand it. But given a potential new economic model in baseball next year where the Royals can maybe be more of players in free agency, I don't know if there's a reason to early on punt in 2027. I don't know if there's a reason to do that. Like, the White Sox have to show me. The White Sox won 60 games last year. They might win the division this year. The Royals won 22 more games than the White Sox last year. The Guardians won almost 30 more games than the White Sox, and the White Sox are up 3 games in the division at the trade deadline. So things just turn really, really quick in baseball, in sports in general. So I'm not upset that the Royals didn't move on from guys that they have a long-term plan for. You can see a scenario in which the Royals are decent next year. Now, they got to do some moves, and I hope that this kind of shows them, kind of like what you saw with the Chiefs. Hey, we tried to run it back, and it didn't really work. We got to shake this thing up a little bit. Where's their Kenneth Walker addition? Where's their youth movement on defense like the Chiefs have done? I understand it's a different sport, different economic models, but the Royals got to have that mentality. They kind of were stale this last offseason in 25 heading into 26. They need to do something that shakes it up and re-energizes the fan base. They need one of those kind of moves this offseason. I got to give them time to see if that's what they do.
I will say this, though, and I think that's a good point. To that staleness, they got to shake it up and be aggressive next offseason. I think fans wanted that shake it up energy to start today. I think fans were looking at the offseason and said, okay, we know you have to shake it up. You know you have to shake it up. Everyone knows a shakeup is needed. Start today. And it feels like today they had the same staleness they had in the offseason. So now it kind of feels like we needed this, big change. And when we had a chance at big change, you passed. I understand their plan, and I think they're wrong. But if Lugo and Walker are going to be pillars of the rotation next year, that's all that really matters, and they're good. But I think fans' frustration is because they saw the staleness last offseason, and they feel like this is more of the same staleness.
This is going to sound way harsher than I intended. That's because I think that Royals fans are trained to think like losers during this portion of the season. This is all you know. The Royals have been significant buyers one time in our lifetime at the deadline. One time. It's like the rest of baseball is having a party, and the Royals have only been invited one time. Like, the trade deadline seems like a really, really fun time. I would say maybe more even than the NBA. The baseball trade deadline, you see big-time moves happen, and you see significant players switch teams that are going to energize a team and potentially help you get over the hump. Outside of the trades that they made in 15 when they went to go get Zobrist and Cueto, what's the biggest trade they made at the deadline? Is it Rondell White? I think on top of my head. What's the biggest trade the Royals have made in the last 25 years of the deadline?
Is it Urseg
that wasn't at 15?
Is it Urseg? I mean, the first year of Urseg was a good deal. Like, they got a closer.
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about where on the day of MLB, I'm saying is we'd have done wall to wall. We'd have done 4 hours Major League Baseball trade deadline. That's not really that fun if you're the selling team, especially if you're not selling something of value. This isn't Baltimore. They just sold Adley Rutschman. This team didn't trade Miguel Garcia today. They traded Chris Bubic and Lane Thomas is who they sold. So while the rest of baseball is going out and Scooble got moved and this guy got moved and who was the face of an organization 2 years ago got traded to a team in his division. The Royals got peanuts and Cracker Jack for Lane Thomas, and they got a bag of balls for this is not a big day in Kansas City, and it just hasn't been. So I just think as a fan, you have just been trained. Once you get to this point, what prospects can we get? And talking about prospects that none of you have seen just doesn't sound very fun to me. We're talking about a guy, he has a 4 ERA in AAA. That's who they got today. He's not even a major league pitcher yet. They got a minor league bullpen arm today. I'd rather talk about that national anthem we played earlier today than do that. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll get more reaction to the Royals trade earlier today. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Kansas City football fans, Dana Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Why wait until January to make a big career change? You can get started today. At Centric, you can build job-ready IT skills in months, not years, with live instructors, hands-on experience, and career support focused on helping graduates connect with local employers who are currently hiring. Employers know what Centric training represents. Don't spend the rest of 2026 wondering what's next. Start now and step into the new year with a new direction. Centric gives you skills that move you forward. Visit Centric.com today.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years, and I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or lewisburgford.com.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
When it's time for a new water heater, trust the team that's been serving Kansas City for 75 years. For a limited time, buy a water heater and get a water filter 50% off. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, down in the triangle, center lane is blocked, 435 north. As you approach Bannister, you're going to have to split to get around this guy. The crash still working, both directions affected, 435 east and west at State Line. Big delays in both directions. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen from the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
We're going to get back to the Chiefs here in a bit, but right now let's be joined by Jacob Milham. He is with Kings of Kaufman. Jacob, I have 2 questions, and I'll allow you to get on with your fantastic Monday. What do you make?
All right, let's hear them.
Let's start with it. What do you make of the trade that sends Chris Bubic to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers?
Hey, I'm fine with it. Listen, this is Chris Bubic. There's a pretty high chance you weren't going to see him again this season at all. You get something for him. You say thank you for all you've done in the organization, and you keep it moving. Carlos Duran, is at least a guy that can help as bullpen depth. So to get something is better than nothing. That's being transactional, baby.
My second question is, what do you make of the trade that the Royals had for Lane Thomas?
I think it's solid. I really do. This I was a little skewed going into that trade because I saw the trade for Curtis Mead with the Washington Nationals and Boston Red Sox, and I said, okay, we can get a high return for Lane Thomas, and a couple of top 30 prospects from the Atlanta Braves, a guy who is at least close to MLB ready. It's time to sink or swim for him and Lucas Braun. There's something to be said about finding that value as you're looking to, once again, round out that organizational depth. Gotta love it because that's what it is, right? Right, C-Dot?
That's it. You know what? I actually have a bonus question here. You know what? I'm going to break my own rule. I said I had 2. I have 3 questions. Are you surprised that Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo are still on this team past the deadline?
Honestly, yeah, I am. I am. I thought that, we start seeing opinions that have been put forward like the week before trade deadline. Well, what a general manager said a week ago was before they saw that offer from that one franchise that is really feeling the pressure of a new injury or something like that. We saw a handful of notable starting pitcher injuries around the league. And I thought, well, this feels like the time to do it. This feels like the time to pull the trigger. And alas, Michael Wacha's still here. Seth Lugo's still here. John Schreiber is still here. I'm surprised and I'm disappointed at the same time. I feel like a father, C-Dot. I really do.
That is Jacob Milham joining us on the show. He's with Kings of Kaufman. Jacob, I told you I wouldn't take up too much of your time today on this fantastic Monday. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. You as well, C-Dot.
That's our guy, Jacob Milham, joining us on the show today. Rob, that's how I'm going to be with Royals Topics now. Efficient. It's football season. We wanted them to get us to training camp. They did. They accomplished that. We're keeping Royals Topics efficient here. That time to find out what Vern's favorite Taco Bell order was, that time's passed. I don't care about that anymore. We got to be efficient with our time. We only get so much. Let me play this for you. We had Nate Taylor on the show earlier today. The Chiefs, their wide receiver room, very banged up right now. Xavier Worthy's banged up. Rashee Rice is banged up. Cyrus Allen is also injured right now. They had a mash unit at wide receiver. We asked Nate Taylor, is a move possibly coming at the position? Here's what he said.
They don't have a lot of money, Carrington. In fact, they have no money as of right now. They would have to make a move to create money to bring on Stephon Diggs, in my opinion. Which leads to, once again, who's on that waiver wire, who got cut on cut down day. Is there any receiver that looked good in the preseason that just didn't quite make their team's roster? And Chiefs fans have to remember this, because you were 6-11. You're actually pretty high now on the waiver wire claim. Hey, if something, I know it's going to drive you nuts, Carrington, but hey, what if Juju Smith-Schuster's available? I mean, hey, I think McCole Harvin's making the Buffalo Bills roster, but you never know. You never know.
Rob, Nate is my guy. Nate's my brother. I really like Nate Taylor on a personal level. Consider him to be more than just a colleague, a friend. Hell no. Can we go through the last 3 seasons? Sometimes, you know what Juju Smith-Schuster is? Juju Smith-Schuster is a show that's just gone on for too long. Now, I understand. It's cool to play in the National Football League. It's cool to be on the Chiefs. Taylor Swift was at your wedding. It's great. I understand. He had 78 catches for 933 yards. That's what he had. He had 78 catches for 933. Rob, the season before, he had 15 catches for 129. Juju Smith-Schuster's body holding up for one season in Kansas City is miraculous if you look at the last 5 years of his career. It quite literally is the only season since COVID in which he has held up. Since COVID, he has had one decent season in the league. It was in 2022 when the Chiefs desperately needed him. Since then, he had 29 catches for 260 yards, got released by the New England Patriots, who had no receivers at the time. In 2024, he had 18 catches for 231 yards. Last season, again, for a team that Rashee Rice missed over half the season, Xavier Worthy was dealing with something, Jalen Royals never materialized, never turned into anything. Juju Smith-Schuster had 33 catches for 345 yards last year. I like Juju. I don't know who doesn't like Juju. He seems like a very fun individual. Seems like a really good guy. I ain't got no issues with the man. That's the option to bring in to help this wide receiver room.
Is that because of the price? Like Nate Taylor said, they don't have any money.
It's everything. I don't think he's very productive. I think his body has given out. I don't think he moves the needle in really any capacity. I think Juju's done. I think Juju has been done for quite some time in terms of being able to really help you. And I don't know how, if you're a team that's dealing with injuries, your solution to that is to add Juju Smith-Schuster to the team, who has dealt with injuries pretty significantly over the course of his career. So I like Juju. I think it might be time for Juju to go get a regular job like the rest of us. I mean, he's made great money in his NFL career, and salute to him. When Juju was younger and healthy, he was a very, very good player. He is now 29 years old. Body is breaking down. I'm not super interested in Juju, honestly.
I agree with you on Juju. I just think the larger point Nate Taylor is making, I don't want to speak for him, is I don't think it's Stephon Diggs' time. I don't think it's, another big name who's sitting in. I don't think Keenan Allen is going to be a Chief anytime soon. I
agree.
I think it is going to be.
I think that's because of them. I don't think it's because they're not interested in coming to Kansas City. I don't think the Chiefs are interested in Keenan Allen. I don't think the Chiefs are interested in Stephon Diggs. I don't know why Diggs would not be interested in Kansas City. Diggs can't be a chooser at this point. He needs to be a buyer at this point. There are not a lot of teams knocking down the doors for a past his prime player with an attitude. Those are not the ones in hot commodity right now.
I think some of that they don't want to do it is the price point. I don't think a 1 for 11.5 deal for Keenan Allen is something the Chiefs can afford to do right now. Back to the point we led the show with. It's because Jalen Moore has that contract, basically.
Yeah, text line, C-Dot, you're saying 345 for a 6 receiver isn't good enough? At this point, I don't know why we're so interested in the Chiefs just having an infinite amount of 5 and 6 receivers. That's what we're just interested in. They just got a bunch of 3s and 4s receivers. They don't have a single one on their team. They just got a bunch of 2s and less. So, yeah, if they got Juju on a veteran minimum deal, is that the worst possible move that you can make? No. But it just doesn't solve any of their problems. He just contributes more to the problem. He was on last year's team. They had all the problems in the world at wide receiver. Did you ever think Juju was a solution to any of those? Whenever Rashee Rice was suspended, whenever Xavier Worthy had one shoulder, did you think, man, you know what? They're going to be all right. They got Juju on their team. They got great depth with Juju on their team. That's what are we doing here? It ain't like we don't know. We know. He was on the team last year and was part of the problem. We think he's part of the solution this year? No. I got nothing wrong with Juju, but my advice to him was I would just go be a streamer, man. I would just go be a streamer. I think he'd be actually very, very good at it.
Go to DeAndre Hopkins and do it. Go to USC and be the assistant wide receiver coach.
Yeah, it's just time to go home and be a family man. There's nothing wrong with that. Football calls everybody. You've had a great career. You won a Super Bowl. You played for multiple organizations. You had a great career. Nothing wrong with that. It just might be over for Juju Smith-Schuster. The numbers suggest it's over. The numbers suggest that. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this waterman is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs.
Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
How old is your roof? If it's over 15 years old, now's the time to catch small issues before they become costly repairs. Century Roofing has protected Kansas City homes for more than 36 years and installed over 36,000 roofs. That's why homeowners voted Century Roofing best roofing company in Johnson County for the 5th year in a row and best in Kansas City for the 2nd consecutive year. Schedule your free inspection today at CenturyRoofingKC.com. KC based and female owned. Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler craftsman at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, not with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER, forward and back.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER. The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale of the year is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right, you pay what we pay, plus mounting and balancing for only $30 per tire. Reserve yours at TELLEtire.com. Take care of your car, take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, this is Trey Smith, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win Kansas City Chiefs scratch tickets, plus a chance for the grand prize Chiefs bundle, which includes a framed jersey and a signed photo. All thanks to our friends at the Kansas Lottery. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, wreckers on the scene to get this truck out of the now left lane, 435 south as you approach 87th, scoot to the right. The wreck still working both directions of 435 east and west, affected at State Line. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Down the text line said, it's not often I agree with CDOT, but he's right on this one. I don't know if I would walk around just admitting I was wrong all the time. That doesn't seem like the right way to go, but what do I know? I'm not here to judge anybody. Rob, did you know that today is the 25-year anniversary of Rush Hour 2? I love Rush Hour 2. I love Rush Hour 1.
What about the third one?
I love Rush Hour 1. I love Rush Hour 2. I'll leave it at that. I also don't think we need any additional rush hours. We didn't need 3 or a possible 4 that they are working on. I think it's over. It's one of those you had to be there in the moment because it was really, really funny. This is a timeless genre of movies that has somewhat been forgotten. The buddy cop movie. Now that I'm thinking about it, Rush Hour 2 might actually be my favorite buddy cop movie. I know there's a lot of great ones, but Rush Hour 2 might actually be my favorite buddy cop movie. Very, very funny movie. Big fan of Rush Hour 2.
We kind of get that genre, don't we? Like, I guess how long ago was that Will Ferrell, The Other Guys? That was probably 10 years ago.
It was a while ago.
I guess we don't really get like that anymore.
We used to get like a couple of those a year. Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart's made like 7 of those kind of movies. Yeah, he's the only person that makes these kind of movies.
Mm-hmm. He did it with Ice Cube like 3 different times. Ride Along with basically a buddy cop.
And he has the one with The Rock, like Central Intelligence, the name of it is. The Other Guys came out in 2010. It was 16 years ago that movie came out. So I'm saying, this used to be a staple. We used to get one of these a year. We would get a good buddy cop movie because it's always easy. Couple jokes, save the world. You know, we don't get that anymore.
And it's a simple premise. Cop A and Cop B are just philosophically different, and how will they make it work? Usually it's like one's older and one's younger. That's just how it works.
You know what? The last good buddy cop movie we got, actually the recent Bad Boys, because like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are 2 drastically, like, it's the same franchise, but they're very different kind of movies. Bad Boys 3 and 4 are not that bad. They're okay. Did you see that the kid that played Michael Jackson, Jafar Jackson, you see that he is going to do a movie with Will Smith? I'm very intrigued to see his acting not playing Michael Jackson. Like, can he just be a regular other actor? Can he play a normal character? Be very, very intrigued to see what that's like. But, yeah, they just announced that today, Rob. Is that a movie that you're interested in? Are you interested in seeing Jafar Jackson, who was very, very good as Michael Jackson? Are you interested in seeing him in another movie?
I don't know that his name being on the marquee is driving me to the theater, but I would give that movie a chance.
Oh, that's a for sure streamer.
Oh, yeah. When was the last time Will Smith had even King Richard was technically a streamer, right? Because it was during COVID.
Yeah, that was a really, really good movie, though.
Yeah, it gets caught in the streamer category, but it's probably a streamer. But yeah, I would give it a chance if it looked good, but I'd not be like, ooh, Jafar's in it? Let's go see it.
Yeah, that is kind of one of those movies now. King Richard, like, it seems like it was actually a long time ago that King Richard came out. You're like, oh, wow, when was that movie? No, it was a while ago. It was 5 years ago. Then 2021. Been kind of quiet since then, other than Bad Boys. That was the last movie that he was in. You know, he had the little incident with Chris Rock, so it was kind of quiet for Will Smith. So this is the first movie he's made in a while that's not under the Bad Boys franchise. I'm always supporting Will Smith. So it don't matter to me. He ain't smack me, so how mad can I really be, you know?
I mean, Chris Rock, they seem to be fine now.
Yeah, I think they both just moved on with it. Do you think that Will Smith has more great movies or stinkers?
Stinkers.
He's got a lot of stinkers, and I love Will Smith. A lot of stinkers.
Like, by pure volume, it's stinkers. People don't realize there was a time there where it was like rough sledding.
Yeah, he did have a rough stretch. I agree. He absolutely had a rough stretch.
He kept trying to make the same, like, after
what
Earth.
were you doing?
Yeah.
This is a
like, I like the movie the Focus movie. That's probably a stinker.
Like, this is an awful stretch. Concussion, Suicide Squad, Collateral Beauty, Bright. That's a bad stretch of movies. It's not a good stretch. Will might just not be able to read a script. I feel every 6 months we learn another movie that Will Smith was supposed to be in that he just declined being in. Like, wait, what? How did you not see the vision for this movie?
He is definitely at this point more known for his what could have been movies.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, this is a bad stretch too. Hancock, 7 pounds, Men in Black 3, After Earth. That's a bad stretch.
7 pounds was supposed to be something, and it was nothing.
If I'm going to watch a serious Will Smith movie, I'm just going to watch Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Like, I got to watch a more depressing version of Pursuit of Happiness, which is already depressing. I'm not watching that. That's not a movie. That's not a good rewatchable movie. It is probably a good movie the first time. It's not a rewatchable movie.
He was award hunting with that film, and it just didn't hit.
Absolutely. Hitch, 21 years ago, Hitch came out. I love Hitch. Hitch is such a great movie.
Hitch is good.
Hitch is so good.
But if that's one of your hits in the middle of a run, that shows you how bad the run is.
Hitch is such a good movie. All right, we're back tomorrow. We'll catch you guys. Take care.